pray them in, because lots has happened over the weekend. Oh, man. Here we go.
Ends 8:26. In-store only, limit 30.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back live on this Monday morning, August 21st, 2023. My name is Brian Craig. We got a lot to cover, so I'm just going to jump right into it. We're going to get into the complete destruction of Ron DeSantis in just a bit by Ron DeSantis himself. But Newt Gingrich dropped a major story that has not been getting picked up anywhere. You know, Newt Gingrich is very much in the know. He was a very, very popular Speaker of the House, and he was interviewed by Charlie Kirk. I'm going to play you the clip in a minute. Now, this is a big week because Friday is Black Panther County, otherwise known as Fulton County, Georgia, that's run by black nationalist racists that believe all white people should be in jail just for being white. That's when this big RICO nonsense is supposed to take place. So the indictment that came down a week ago in Fulton County, Georgia, was really bizarre. We got this post of the charges against President Trump on the county clerk's website before the grand jury even came back with a decision. Oh, it was just testing. Well, they got the charges right. Give me a break. And then they had this midnight press conference where Fani Willis looked like she was asleep to come out at midnight and indict Trump. So what happened? Why did this happen? Well, I'm not just going to play this. This is Newt Gingrich, the great Newt Gingrich. Don't always agree with Newt Gingrich, but I agree with him on this. In fact, I believe that Newt Gingrich's current wife was President Trump's ambassador, the U.S. ambassador to the Vatican. Isn't that correct? I believe so. But anyway, this is Newt Gingrich. He was talking to Charlie Kirk. Have you guys seen this? News is covering this up because they want to give credibility to Fani Willis. But Newt Gingrich dropped what I consider to be huge. Why did the indictment come down? Why did they do this midnight presser with this indictment? Listen to this.
But I am told by a reliable source that Friday evening somebody from Washington called the district attorney in Atlanta and said, you have to indict on Monday. We have to cover up all of the mistakes we just made with Weiss. And she said, apparently, my jurors aren't coming back till Tuesday. And they said, you didn't hear me. You have to indict on Monday. And she said, well, they're not going to get here before noon. They said, it doesn't matter. She said, this means it's going to be 8 or 9 or 10 o'clock at night. They said, it doesn't matter. We need the news media shifting off of
who made that phone call?
We don't know. And I'm telling you up front, this is hearsay, but it's from a person who has remarkably good sources.
I totally believe it, though, because that would explain why they leaked and they messed up on the clerk document, why she was exhausted, and why they had the 11 p.m. press conference.
Yeah, there you go. That's Newt Gingrich with Charlie Kirk. So who from Washington made the call? And he mentioned Weiss. See, they got nuts up in D.C. Hey, listen, when they they're out of their minds when they're leaving cocaine around the White House where people are walking around. But what Newt Gingrich said there, he didn't focus it on this aspect. He said because of their mess up with Weiss. Weiss is this fake special counsel. They had this whole nonsense fakeness going on that Weiss was a special counsel, he was appointed, and blah, blah, blah. And of course he's not. And it backfired on them real quick. And someone in Washington said, okay, we got to indict Trump in Fulton County so we can change the news cycle. And, this goes into that narrative that's been going on that the indictments against Trump come when Biden is up against bad news. So who made this call? Was it Valerie Jarrett? What do you guys think? Yeah, Valerie Jarrett, who has been Obama's confidant since before he was president. Remember, she was Valerie Jarrett was Michelle Obama's boss in Michelle Obama's fake job at the hospital district in Chicago. And she has been believed to be Obama's direct representative and conduit to the Biden crack house, White House. So I would like to know who made that call. I mean, what a panic is setting in Washington, D.C. So we got a lot to cover on the program today. And obviously we were not here on Friday. I had a personal thing that I'm not going to get into right now because I don't want to get sidetracked away from the news. And there's a lot of news that's going on right now. I'm going to keep today, today is obviously not open phones. It's not open MAGA Mike Friday, but I will keep open phones light. I'll call it open phones light today, not the regular open phones, since we were not here live on Friday. So you can bring things up that I don't bring up today on the show, but try to make them, when I say open phones light, it can be open phones so long as it's relevant to the current news cycle. I don't want to have total open phones, but I'll keep it open phones light, again, meaning you've got to be relevant to the current news cycle since we were not here on Friday, and there's so much news breaking. Okay, so that clip of Newt Gingrich is huge. So who made the call from Washington? My first guess, the first name that popped in my mind was Valerie Jarrett, okay? But maybe you have some other thoughts on that. Now, as the show goes on, we've got a lot to cover. After the first break, I'm going to get into this listless vessels comment of Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is losing his mind, okay? It's been a rough week and a half. Last weekend in Iowa, when Trump came to the Iowa State Fair, that is when Ron DeSantis had his bubble popped of people whispering in his ear, telling him he was going to be president. That's when he realized he'd messed up his entire political future, that he messed up his entire career, that he is unelectable forever. That's when it first came to him, was at the Iowa State Fair when Trump came to town. And they've got the debate coming up this week, which is going to be, I think, boring. Fox News, they're going to try to trick you into watching it. They're going to try to trick you into watching it. And one thing that Fox News leaked out of their lying machine over the weekend is that they may play clips of President Trump during the debate and ask the candidates, the wannabe pathetic losers, like Vivek Ramaswamy. I'm sorry. I don't care if all these people think Vivek Ramaswamy he's with George Soros. He changes his opinion on a dime. You know, he's no better than any of them, okay? But so Fox News says that they may play clips of President Trump and have the wannabe candidates respond to the clips of Trump. Fox News is in a panic, okay? Martha McCallum and Bret Baier are flipping out right now because the ratings are going to be some of the lowest ratings of any presidential debate because Trump is not there. The debate is just stupid to have it without Trump. I think it'll be boring and uneventful, but they're going to be floating all kinds of teases and things like this to try to trick you into watching. Now, full disclosure, I've got to watch so that I can talk about it. Okay, I've got to be informed. So I have no choice, but you do, all right? And Fox News crashing and burning in the ratings on debate night would be beautiful, beautiful. I mean, what's the point of a presidential debate without the front runner of both parties, which of course is President Trump? So we're going to take our first break of the week. We'll come back with your calls. Got a lot to cover. I'll get into the DeSantis listless vessels stuff. What a jerk. And as I said, it'll be open phones light, not completely open phones, but you could talk about anything that is relevant to the current news cycle because so much has happened since we were last year live on Thursday morning. Our number's toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. To the callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. We'll take our break, come back with your calls, and much more right after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Scott Shannon here with a question. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and you get a doorbell camera. I wish we had them for everyone, but the first 40 true oldies channel listeners
All right.
to call 833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone.
Let me see here.
A free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to dial 833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's now for this.
All right, just going over some of the things I'm going to talk about when we get back. There are 2 openings on the board already.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness,
Yeah, I've got so much to cover today. And there will be a new podcast today, too.
muscle weakness, loss of balance.
There's so much happening.
Have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
We'll be back shortly.
Like no other. Sip on a variety of exquisite teas, including proper Berry blend. Bring your clients, your friends, and your family.
I'm not sure what time we're going to upload the podcast tonight. Haven't even done the podcast yet, so. But if you got the notification bell clicked, you'll get a notification.
My blood work done. I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs. That's why I go to any lab test now in Boca.
Yeah, it sounds like DeSantis is angry at us. Well, he screwed up.
Guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere.
Nah.
Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only 2 advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call any lab test now of Boca at 561-237-5009. Any lab test now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. We are back live on this Monday morning. We were not here on Friday, but we're back live this morning, which is August 21st, Monday morning. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Now, I want to talk about the incredible special going on right now on Mike Lindell's My Slippers, as low as $25 a pair. And, you know, I have 2 pairs of the MyPillow My Slippers, and I don't wear them to work, even though they're good for all-day wear. Do you know why I don't wear them to do the show? You know why? They're too comfortable. You know, when you wear the MyPillow My Slippers, you know, it's like putting My Pillows on your feet. You know, putting on the MyPillow My Slippers is like getting a foot massage. It relieves all the pressure points, and it's so soft and so comfortable. I wear shoes that are slightly uncomfortable while I'm on the air because, you know, if I can't fall asleep while I'm on the air, I need to be stressed, okay, when I'm on the air talking to these callers that we have, you know. So if I'm wearing the MyPillow My Slippers during the show, I'll never be stressed out, and that wouldn't be good for the show. But I'll tell you this: This is the lowest price ever on the MyPillow My Slippers. They are incredible. They come with a 4-tier cushioning system. Layer 1 has that patented fill that's inside the MyPillows, which is amazing. Layer 2 is the comfort memory foam that gives you that all-day support. Number 3 is the patented MyPillow Impact Gel inside. These are amazing. And of course, layer 4 is that incredible sole that makes it good for indoor, outdoor, and even all-day use. The MyPillow My Slippers. They make a great gift for yourself, but also a great gift for anyone in your life. Okay, they come in many new colors as well, and there's several different styles, and there's a whole bunch of new sizes, larger and wider sizes for the men, and smaller sizes for women, and of course children. So go to mypillow.com. Order your MyPillow My Slippers as low as $25 a pair with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine. Good morning, Brian.
Hey, Jeff. What's on your mind?
First and foremost, prayers for Kathy for a speedy, complete recovery, and for you and Emily.
Thank you.
You guys must be worried about her.
Yes.
And Newt Gingrich is completely correct about this. Every time they spin something off on a weekend, it's to cover something up. And it all started when Donald Trump came down that escalator and said, I'm running for president. And they knew they were in trouble the minute the man said that. And they've done nothing but attack him. And this is nothing but short of the Biden administration. It goes back to the first Bush, the second Bush, the Clintons, Bidens, and Obama of taking over America. The New World Order cannot take over the world with a free America. We are the last stand for freedom in the world. And we have the greatest leader in Donald J. Trump. And he is organ by and for the people, and we will never leave him. And they are flipping out because his numbers go up every time they attack him. And we're getting stronger and stronger, and there's nothing they're going to do to stop.
Well, you know, Newt Gingrich said his sources are telling him that someone from Washington called Fannie and said, indict Trump, you got to do it Monday. So who could have made that phone call? What was that about? My guess, I said, is Valerie Jarrett.
Yeah, well, she's the one that's in there from the Obama administration. She was very key with Obama, too. And she is pure evil, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. And look what she did to Roseanne. Valerie Jarrett got Roseanne taken off of television when she had the #1 show on TV. She's a very bitter, vindictive, nasty person. You know, what she did to Roseanne Barr, I'll never forget. And, you know, and her anger towards Trump is probably greater than she had for Rosie O'Donnell. Or, I'm sorry, Roseanne Barr, not Rosie O'Donnell. They're probably friends. All right. Yeah. Yeah, go. Did you see any? Yeah, yeah.
I asked everyone to pray for me. I'm going to a neurology appointment. My head's been killing me again, and I had some inner ear problems going on, and they need to find something out to help me. I'm not sleeping good again.
Oh, my goodness.
Being in this, and I know you know what it's about because you've dealt so much with Kathy.
Yeah.
I appreciate the prayers for everybody here.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. Prayers for Jeff from Maine. Good luck with the doctor. All right, take care, take care. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. This is Richie.
Hey, Richie the bus driver. What's up?
Yeah, I didn't know Cassie was ill. I thought you had gone to L.A. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I was going to, but those plans have been canceled. No, I wish I was in L.A., but no. Well, I don't know. They had an earthquake and a hurricane. It would have been a bad weekend for Los Angeles. My daughter had her first earthquake. Yeah, I've never been in an earthquake. Maybe it would have been fun.
Let me tell you, that not for nothing, real quick, that's a dump. There's a guy, when I thought you were there, there's a guy that's got a YouTube channel that goes around the city. And I mean, that place of potholes and busted streets and homeless is disgusting. It's worse than New York.
Oh, yes.
New York. Bring up New York real quick. There was a Trump parade yesterday. I mean, you want to know the difference between us and them? Trump parade comes down right in front of Trump Tower yesterday in New York. It's on YouTube. I can't believe the language. It looked like Antifa stopped them in the middle of the street and got in cursing them like dogs and calling them everything in the world. And I said to myself, these are decent people. These vehicles are very expensive. I mean, they had them all painted up and everything. You have to see it to believe it. It's on YouTube. And
okay.
I tell you, Brian, that cursing the cursing from these Antifa thugs they had masks on their faces, some didn't, and they were calling white supremacists and F this, F that. I never see so many F-bombs, and this is what we're up against. We're up against.
Well, how did these Antifa animals know about the Trump parade?
I don't know, but they were standing there with a big sign, Trump lost, with a big white sheet.
Yeah.
And they were trying.
Oh, what does that mean? What's that supposed to mean? He's in the Klan?
I have no idea. They were calling them white supremacists.
Mm-hmm.
Calling us white supremacists. I mean, this is ridiculous already. But anyway, this is the second time about a phone call. Supposedly reported when the cocaine was found, Biden was very disturbed, started screaming out, change the news cycle, do something with Trump. Now, this is the second time. I mean, this is so obvious, man. I mean, you got to be a dumb idiot not to see.
Well, what criminals do, they do the same thing over and over again. They get away with it, and they do the same thing. Yeah. So this call that Newt Gingrich, I have no doubt in my mind that Newt Gingrich's source is firm and strong and true. And I've never known Newt Gingrich to say something so directly and not be right in the end.
No, he wouldn't say it if that was the case. And the third topic real quick, was this governor of ours. You're looking at a wailing fish, or an animal that's wailing because they know they're dying. This is so blatant. And Mark Levin, by the way, doesn't care for Islami, whatever his name is either. He says, I interviewed him twice, and he's so slick, and he won't answer certain things. And why would he bury what he did with Soros' brother? Why he trying to bury that story? If he's so slick, why didn't he just on?
Well, Ramaswamy hired Wikipedia editors to edit his online biography to purge all the Soros connections to him. Yeah.
Early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's incredible. I don't know where you.
You know, I know people, Richie. I know it's hard to believe for some people out there because I know most of my friends like to brag about their contacts and who they meet and everything. I'm just not a brag. You know, the thing about the Ramaswamy is everything about him is he's trying to angle his way in so that he has a voice at the Trump table or the MAGA table, and we cannot let this guy in. He is bad news. And I'll tell you, his wife is pretty slick, too, if you've seen some interviews with her.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
She's another one?
Yeah.
He's going to win this debate because he's got the skill.
What do you mean when? Having a debate without Trump, it's a mock debate. It's like having the student government at a local high school have a debate. It's ridiculous.
It's exactly. I'll give you the analogy. It's like when the NFL had a football strike and they still played with fake players.
Oh yes, the second team.
No, they weren't even the second team. They brought in guys.
I remember.
Not even football players.
I remember that. That was great. And they did the same thing with the referees too. Remember that when they brought in when the referees were on strike, they brought in the referees from the Hooters Football League. That was great.
There's no credibility here whatsoever. This debate has no credibility. It really doesn't. I don't care what they say.
It's going to be. It's in one word. It is going to be boring.
I don't know if it'll be boring. They're trying to do the best they can.
Really? Who there out of that crew without Trump? How could that be anything but boring?
Well, it's not like January 6th. They spent a year on that.
No, I don't know. I don't know how it's like January 6th. No. All right, Rich. I got to run. I got to run for the break. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve King Show with Brian Craig.
Be right back, guys. I drank a whole bottle of Fiji water on the way in today, so I've been dying to go to the men's room. Be right back.
The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good day, everybody. Hope you're off to a great start. So we're going to see daytime highs across South Florida of about 90 to 92 degrees. There's about a 30% chance of some isolated storms this afternoon, and it's going to be a bit breezy with winds out of the east at about 15 to 20. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com.
True Oldies Traffic Check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Right now, through the Palm Beach is very quiet. I-95, the turnpike are both crash free, moving up to speed. I-95 heading northbound after Atlantic Avenue, a disabled truck is off to the right shoulder. In West Palm Beach, Clematis Street is still closed by construction from Dixie Highway to Olive Avenue. Take Mangy Boulevard instead. And the rest of Broward County is incident free at this time. This report is sponsored by Irish Spring. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and the sensational Irish Spring selected just the reset you need to own the day. Irish Spring, when the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring at your local retailer today. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. BBKC is the county's only OTB location featuring betting action from top horse tracks, and this weekend, bet on huge races including Saratoga's Travers Stakes, the Charlestown Classic, and more. Visit the Paddock Restaurant with over 180 new HD TVs and big screens, plus exceptional dining and drinks. The Paddock is also your best bet for comedy, music, and dinner shows. For our full schedule lineup, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry for 40 years. We are originally from Connecticut, where our values and
All right, so after the break, I'm going to get into the listless vessels thing, because this is really got to be talked about. Let me pull this up. Okay.
That we
Yeah. Guy stutters like Mel Tillis. Remember Mel Tillis? Welcome, everyone. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. So I'm going to get into the Ron DeSantis listless vessels next, in the next segment. And so much has come down. So much has come down. It really has. On the podcast, I'll get into more detail about Kat. Kathy's home from the hospital, my wife, so we'll get into some details on that on the podcast probably. But
Major symptoms of neuropathy are numbness, tingling, burning, muscle cramps, coldness in the hands and feet, and problems with balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It is treatable, and we've seen some great results.
Call 954-633-7003 today to schedule your nerve damage screening. This screening will tell you if you're at risk for serious complications
Oh, man.
and you're a candidate for our treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe.
yeah, Kathy will be on the podcast. Yeah,
End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers.
I'm sure we'll be podcasting from bed, but she'll be on it.
The first 25 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Space is limited. Call 954-633-7003.
Are you exhausted after work with no energy left in the tank to give your family? Are you having a midday crash on a daily basis? Women, are menopause symptoms like hot flashes, anxiety, and depression making your daily life feel far more difficult than it should? Men, do you feel like you're aging far beyond what you should? Is your sexual life and relationship suffering because of disappointments in the bedroom? Then take action and let our medical team at Lighthouse Medical Center help you stop the symptoms that are holding you back. We use all natural hormone optimization therapies with precision technology to help solve your problems.
We'll be back shortly, guys.
Serving our South Florida community for over 71 years. Call us right now and let our medical team get you optimized and feeling the way that you should. Life is too short to be running at less than 100%. You and your family deserve the best version of you. Call us at 754-222-6642 or visit us at lighthousemedicalcenter.com to schedule your consultation today.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie, Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years.
All right, welcome back, one and all. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. It's Monday. We are back live. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, Renee from Harlem.
Hey, Renee, what's up?
Well, I wanted to give tribute to Nathaniel Alexander, who invented the folding chair, and it was put to good use by our good friend Reggie Ray, who used it as a lightsaber and smashed your friend, the white supremacist in Alabama, and used it to defend that brother who was jumped by you thugs, and reminds us of a time in Ocoee,
Don't worry, Annie.
Florida, when another one of your acolytes, well, your Klansmen, were marauding through the neighborhood. I'm surprised you never mentioned Ocoee, Florida. Because Ocoee, Florida and Rosewood is the home of a lot of your racist, vigilante terrorism.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to give a tribute to.
Well, let me respond. Now, it comes to no shock to me that you praise the inventor of the folding chair, since you spend so much time sitting on your butt in chairs doing nothing. So that's interesting. So far as Rosewood and such, you're talking about things that happened 100 years ago, and I must tell you that I'm pretty outraged too that Democrats mistreated African Americans and did the things that they did. But can you talk about things in the current? I mean, what are you talking about things 100 years ago when we're living in 2023? You're talking about 1923. So why don't you get a little more current with the current news?
You do know about it.
Rosewood, yeah, I know, yeah. Not so much about Ocoee, no. I can't know everything.
Mass grave there.
Mm-hmm.
In your town.
Ocoee, I don't live in Ocoee. Florida is a big state, much bigger than people realize. And no, can you talk about things that have happened in the 21st century at least? You're talking about the turn of the last century.
Another Klansman, Donald Trump, whose father was in the Klan, and you think you're going to get away with it again, and that boy is going to jail. And
wait a second. Wait a second here. Wait a second. This is interesting. We've got some breaking news here. You just said that President Trump is in the Ku Klux Klan? You said that Donald Trump is in the Ku Klux Klan?
He supports them.
Well, no, okay. Oh, slow down. So, okay, so he's not in the Klan, but supports the Klan. Which is it? Trump is in the Klan or not in the Klan? What is your allegation?
Supports the Klan and his father.
Okay, give me an example of Donald Trump supporting the Ku Klux Klan.
Well, that's easy. For one, he actually endorsed them in his campaign, where he refused to even recognize them and say anything bad about them.
Hold on a second. Excuse me. Where can I will Google this as I am sitting here with you. Tell me what to Google so that what pops up from my Google search is Donald Trump endorsed the Ku Klux Klan, and I will read it on the radio right now. What do I Google for that?
When he was talking about when Heather Heyer got ran over, he was saying, there were good people on both sides.
Well, yeah, Heather Heyer was a victim. You don't think she was a good person? Excuse me, Black Lives Matter was there. You're talking about Charlottesville. Are you saying that the woman who was killed and Black Lives Matter are not good people? They were there.
I'm talking about...
Oh, so you agree with Trump. Okay, no, but you're diverting. You're diverting. What can I Google search right now? I will do it live, so that what comes up at the end of that search is Donald Trump endorsing the Ku Klux Klan, please.
When he said they're good people on both sides.
Okay, so you don't believe that Black Lives Matter are good people? Is that what you're saying? Because they were there in Charlottesville. Are Black Lives Matter, are they good people or bad people?
They're a good side.
Okay, well, they were there. So that was one of the sides. So you agree with Trump. There were some good people there. All right, Renee. Oh, my goodness. You're on the air. It's interesting. Renee from Harlem agreeing with Trump. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know, That guy is just not. I mean, if he wants to talk about racism, what about Fannie Willis? What about her father being in one of the most racist groups ever in the Black Panthers? What about that, Renee? You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That. I mean, that's just.
Well, listen, Mike, let's not allow a man who is celebrating the invention of the collapsible chair, a bum like Renee from Harlem, hijack the discussion on this program.
Right. Now, I won't say I almost feel bad for Fannie Willis because she was going to indict Trump anyway. But, I mean, the panic wasn't for Fannie Willis. The panic was from the higher-ups, was from the Jack Smiths and people like that, and the Obamas and the Washington people. You have to indict Trump now. You can't wait. You got
Well, what's significant about this is they said indict him before the grand jury even came back with a verdict, with a decision or a recommendation, whatever you call it, with the grand jury. So that means the grand jury was just a formality. That and we know they had the documents up on the county clerk website before the grand jury even came back with their decision.
Right, and they basically caused her to do what they call prosecutorial misconduct. I mean, she was going to indict him anyway, right? You got to indict him now. So whoever leaked this thing, the indictment early, right? It got leaked early. They can't argue that it didn't get leaked, right? So it got leaked early. Whoever leaked it, whoever it is, if somebody was ordered to, or they accidentally leaked it, right? Whoever they did it because at the behest of Obama and all these other in Washington. That's where the order came from. Valerie Jarrett, Obama.
That's right.
We can't say it came from mashed potato brains because he doesn't have the brains to give the order.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but somebody did, and I trust Newt Gingrich. Hey, Mike in Louisiana, thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Ben from Pompano.
Hey, Ben.
I'm calling in about Renee. I love listening to him because he just makes me so thankful for realizing, how good so much of us have it for not being as miserable and lonely and as big as a loser as that guy. I mean, he has one of the saddest lives I've ever seen. But I also wanted to touch on something that is one of the biggest Democrat myths, which is the fine people on both sides myth that they said about Trump, where they accused him of saying Nazis are okay people. And this has been debunked numerous times with the transcript, where he immediately after that line said, "I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis." There was like a pathetic...
He said, "I'm not talking about the racist and white supremacist. They should be condemned, and I condemn them now," he said. Yes.
I know. And so
but I thought in that conversation it was more interesting to get Renee to agree with Trump because Black Lives Matter were there and he couldn't condemn them, so he said they're good people. So Renee said there were good people in Charlottesville.
The point of Renee is entertainment value only because he's not a logical or sane, rational person. So you're never going to be able to reason with him. But for entertainment purposes, yes, getting him to agree with Trump, yeah, he's a complete moron who's a do-nothing and he's bitter. The number one emotion driving Renee.
It's very interesting. A liberal celebrating the invention of a more convenient chair to sit in. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, that's the highlight. That's the highlight of history for him is that invention, which has generally, slightly made his life a little more better.
So he can take a chair and sit on it anywhere, any street corner, any alleyway. He can sit down anywhere and just easily carry that collapsible chair with him.
Right, the gratitude is just oozing through his pores. So, but I mean, it just goes to show you that he took that instance in Charlottesville and linked it all the way to claiming Trump supported Klan people. So it just goes to show you how completely insane when you actually press them on issues and you try to get them to dig down to where they're getting their beliefs. It comes out of nothing.
Well, no, I don't know. It comes out of the public education system. It comes out of MSNBC, CNN, movies, television. Exactly. All right, listen, thanks for the call. If you're on hold, hang in there. We got to take our last break of the first hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian. Our number, Toll free 1-888-GO-CANE1. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. I just want to say thank you for Dr. Appleton because I'm from Orlando. It took 3 hours to go down there. Took my 90-year-old mom. My mom walks straighter than she ever walked in her life. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being such a willing vessel to talk about Dr. Appleton.
That's amazing. So you heard me in Orlando talking about Dr. Appleton and drove to South Florida with your mother to see him.
Yes, my mom is awesome now. Awesome. No more arthritis, no more pills, none of that. She's going back to New York. She sits on a train for 24 hours, and I'm telling you, no pain. She gets off that train, and my sister says she walks like a young woman.
That's amazing.
Yes, thank you.
Call Dr. Appleton and say bye-bye to your pain, too. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com. Brian Craig here, telling you about our 5th annual listener cruise. And you're all invited, except Liberal Al. Liberal Al, you're not invited. But the rest
That's
of
true.
you are. We leave
Liberal Al is
April
not invited.
27th on board the Celebrity Beyond, the flagship of Celebrity Cruises. We're going to the ABC Islands, Curacao, Bonaire, and Aruba. We have shore excursions at every port, and I'll be on them all with you. We'll have dinner together every night, private cocktail parties. We'll go to Broadway shows together and dance till the clubs close every night. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and book your reservation at 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
Hi, it's Katie from Will For You. I am so excited to let you in on some exciting news. Our Jupiter store has moved to a new location that's double the size. Come in and see us on the corner of Alternate A1A and Indiantown Road next to Publix. Mention this ad and receive a free gift. We strive to make buying new flooring for your home friendly, fresh, and convenient. We offer lots of options from America's top brands and always have the best pricing. From one local to another, Will For You is your hometown flooring store that has it all. Will For You and Jupiter store and willfloor.com.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business for 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires.
We'll be back shortly, guys.
Many suppliers, whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only 2 advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, welcome back. 1 and all 47 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. So what'd you do over the weekend? Do some work around the house? Mow the lawn? Clean out the garage? Did you go play golf? Are you paying for it today? Are you in pain? Your knee hurt? Your shoulder hurt? Some other part of your body hurt? You know, that pain's not going to go away on its own. You want to go see my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, and he'll be your chiropractic physician too. Go see him. Talk to him about his laser away pain treatment. It works, guys. It works. You've heard me talk about 5 times. I've been in pain, different types of pain, sometimes just from growing older, arthritis, sometimes, most oftentimes for injuries, doing things like you may have done over the weekend. The laser away pain treatment works. You can find Dr. Appleton online at AppletonCairo.com. Remember, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome. His number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And if you need him to, when you call, he'll text you directions to his office when you call. All right? But that weekend pain, don't go through the whole week suffering. Go see Dr. Appleton today and say bye-bye to your pain. 954-973-0710. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Roger Daytona.
Okay, what am I supposed? There's supposed to be something after that? Well, am I supposed to do something?
Trump tell Fox to bring back Tucker, apologize to him, make him the moderator for him to be in the debate. Wouldn't that be unbelievable? Bring back Tucker, and have him be the moderator. What do you think of, what do you and everybody else on your calls think of that?
Well, what part of that is a good one? A good what? What is it a good, it's a good what?
Well, it's got to be somebody that's...
No. You said that's a good one, what you just said. What about it is good?
To see the reaction of Fox? What would they do?
If Trump called Fox and said, hire back Tucker, make him the moderator, and I'll be there, they wouldn't do it. Do you think when you said that's a good one, you think that's a good topic for discussion on the show? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. If you had brain, you would know.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let me.
You are one-sided and prejudiced. You do realize that.
I'm prejudiced? What am I prejudiced against?
Politics.
How? Be more specific.
Other side.
What side am I on? That's bad. What is bad about the side I'm on?
The side that agrees with you. Everybody that agrees with you.
What are you kidding me? You for one, you don't agree with me. You don't like me. You're terminal as a caller. You contribute nothing to the program, but yet I've kept you on. So what do you mean that I only let people talk who agree with me? You're not. You disagree with me. You hate me, and you're a very low quality caller. But I've kept you on. That doesn't back up what you said at all.
I'm for Trump.
Oh, I can tell.
For you. Yes. Oh, by the way, time to go to break. Please, go to break. Time to go to break. Gotta go to break. Oh, my.
It's not time for break yet. It's not time for a break yet. Oh, he hung up because he's out of things to say. I love a guy. He hung up on me. I did not hang up on him. He's complaining that I don't let him talk. And then it turns out that he's got nothing to say. He can't even fill time up. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Cynthia from Martin County.
Hey, Cynthia.
I just want to give a couple facts. Number one, you're a great radio host. It has nothing to do whether or not you love Trump. I love Trump. But you're still a good radio host. You let people talk. You let people call into the radio show. Number two, Fox has never been with us. You go back to the Tea Party. What did they do to help us? Every single rally that we had, they were never there. Thousands and thousands of people showed up in D.C. Did they ever talk about it? They threw us under the bus. I can get into it, and we could talk about it, and I could name names. Fact of the matter is, anybody who's still watching Fox and Frauds needs to turn it off.
Oh, yeah.
To be an independent media person, and I think that's the best thing that ever happened. And we are now seeing the meltdown of the media. And, as far as I'm concerned, I can go on about Hannity, and I don't want to. I don't wish him ill.
Well, the thing about this is what happened. When cable news was already dying, and when they fired Tucker Carlson at Fox, that is the official end of the relevance of cable news in American politics. And this pathetic debate, President Trump didn't say that he was not only doing this debate, he said he's not going to do any of the debates. This crash and burn in the ratings, boring debate they're going to have this week with these Republican wannabes and traitors and grifters is going to further cement the end of the relevancy of cable news.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%.
And that's a good thing.
It happened because, we're independent thinkers. We've known about, what Trump has been doing has been said before, only he's the best at articulating it. He understands what has happened through the media, through the Republican Party. Ronna McDaniel, give me a break. We're done with these people. We have a new movement, and it is called Make America Great Again, and I really believe that that's a movement. And, we have to look forward, and Trump is leading that for us.
Mm-hmm.
We're losing our country. Brian, we're losing our country. He is the only one that's going to try to fix it. And if people don't believe it, I would suggest that they read the agenda, they go deep into what he's talking about, understand the issues, and start listening to the people who are talking about the policies that are going to be made.
Yeah.
This is about.
That's absolutely right. I mean, look at this scheme that they're doing, where they're selling off what's left of the unfinished border wall, and they're openly saying, well, we don't want the Republicans to finish the wall, so we're going to get rid of all the materials that are left around. You know, what's going on in this country right now? We have no southern border. We have Maui wiped out, over 1,000 dead or missing, many of them children, and Biden's going to fly over with his mob wife and wave, and that's supposed to be the end of it? What about the kids? You know, I mean, you know, if it was Ukraine, I promise you, it would have been, they would have flown special firefighters to Ukraine from America to put out the flames.
Well, we know what Ukraine is about. I mean, come on. We also know what's going on here. We're not stupid. The military-industrial complex, which Trump understands, but Trump also understood that we had to build up the military. We had to build those ships and all of that to protect our country.
Mm-hmm.
But he also understood what the military-industrial complex is. And, you know, let's give a plug where plug is needed, and I will say that Robert Kennedy Jr. understands that also. We are a team now. We have a team of people who love America. We must continue, and we must not stop, and get involved locally. Go to your supervisor of elections. Make sure that we're going to have.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, listen, you know, what we need to do is not just volunteer as poll watchers, because watchers just watch, they don't interact. We need to start running people for supervisor of elections and things like this around the country instead. You know, one of the reasons I don't talk about that stuff too much is because there's too much whining about it as opposed to solutions. And, you know, we have a lot, in the MAGA movement, we have a lot of new conservatives that used to be liberals, and they still have a little bit of that liberalism in their mind and their veins. And we're not whiners, we're doers. You know, we can elect Republicans to be supervisors of elections and things like that. That's how you fix these problems, not whining about them. Listen, I appreciate the call from MAGA, Martin County.
God bless.
All right, take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Pete from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Fort Lauderdale, what's up?
Yeah, I want to say, you know, that the left, I remember when they loved Donald Trump, you know, until he came down the escalator, they loved him.
Yes.
And then, you know, they say, they think we're like them, that we just follow Donald Trump, you know, because he's Donald Trump. But they don't realize that we follow Donald Trump because he believes in what we believe in. And
yeah.
We don't, yeah. I mean, they just don't get it.
Well, it's more than just saying, you know, like, I'm going to get into the listless vessel stuff of DeSantis after the top of the hour, guys. I want to get through all the audio, and we're going to break it down because he's a jerk and he needs to be exposed. But you just can't go on TV and say these things. You've got to be able to get them done. And President Trump just doesn't say a bunch of talking points that conservatives want to hear. He actually accomplishes them. I mean, he overturned Roe v. Wade. He ended affirmative action in college admissions. You know, I mean, those are two things that he did since he left office, by the way. He did those two things. Okay? And these other ones, I don't care, blah, 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 blah. What the hell have they done?
And the thing about it is, you know, you're going to see a great change take place when he comes back into office, because the gas prices are going to go back down. We're going to be independent of other oil companies and oil nations, you know, and everything.
As we should be.
Yeah, it's going to be a great change, and I can't wait.
All right, take care. Thanks for the call. Now, coming up April 27th is our 5th annual cruise that Steve and I take a cruise every year. And we started doing this actually like 6 or 7 years ago. This is our 5th one. We missed a cruise because, well, the cruise industry got shut down during COVID. But this is the cruise that we wanted to take that we didn't get to take when the cruise industry got shut down, and that's to the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. And this is our largest group we've ever had that is on this one. It is a great trip. We're, of course, we partner with Celebrity Cruise Lines for our cruises, And this time around, we're going on the flagship of Celebrity Cruise Lines, the Celebrity Beyond, which I've taken a tour of this ship. It is spectacular. I had a meal and some good times on this ship. It is beautiful. It is the most modern ship on the 7 seas. And we leave April 27th out of Fort Lauderdale, Port Everglades. And all of you are invited, okay? Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot and join us, 561-244-5779. I've told you guys, we had 2 people meet on our last cruise who didn't even know each other. And of course, they were both listeners to the program, but they didn't even know each other, and now they're engaged to be married. They met on the cruise. Isn't that something? I know they weren't even together. They met. They were in our group, and they met. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot and join us on our 5th annual MAGA cruise. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll break for the top of the hour and get back with the listless vessels nonsense from Governor DeSantis right after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3.
Welcome, guys. If you're new to my channel, subscribe. You know, I'm going to go through this listless vessels thing in detail after the top. If you're on hold, hang in there, because it's very, very important to break this down, what's going on, okay? Got a bunch of other things we got to get into as well, but I got to I wanted to do that right at the top, but this breaking news from Newt Gingrich, and, you know, that's how it happens.
Good day, everybody. Hope you're off to a great start. So we're going to see daytime highs across South Florida of about 90 to 92 degrees. There's about a 30% chance of some isolated storms this afternoon, and it's going to be a bit breezy.
Hold on, where am I? Okay. Yes. Because these rhino, I'm still trying to get the rats going. Instead of rhinos, rats. Republicans against Trump. Rats is so much better, guys. So much better. Because it explains really what they are. They are rats. But let me know in the chat, yes or no, will you watch the Republican debate on Fox this week? Yes or no? I can't imagine people watching a debate without Trump. I mean, what's the point of a debate without Trump? All no's. That's awesome. Yeah. Absolutely. You know, Martha McCallum and Brett Baer have got to be sick about this. One yes. I saw one yes. All the others are no's. Just one yes. I didn't see who said the yes, but no, there's no point to it. It's ridiculous. Without Trump, what's the point? It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. A debate without the front runner. What's the point of that? Well, that's the question. They may talk about Trump the whole time, or they may try to talk about anything but Trump. Only one yes. Everyone else says no. He said he won't participate in any of these debates, is what he said. Well, I'm surprised. Only one yes. Everyone else is no. I was expecting a few more yeses, but no. It's amazing how Fox News has canceled themselves, right? It's amazing. I've never seen something like it. I mean, it's the most self-destructive move. You know, they thought people would come back and get over Tucker being gone, and it just does not happen. Okay, coming back.
And his co-host, Wayne Adams.
RV Hour, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. Here on the True Oldies Channel. On the air since 1977, it's the Steve King Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back. One and all callers on hold, stand by. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve King Show. Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We are back here live on this Monday morning, August 21st, 2023. All right, so let me jump into this listless vessels comment of Ron DeSantis. This is very important. Ron DeSantis, last Saturday, when he saw Donald Trump come into the Iowa State Fair and take over, just has lost it since then. He's really lost his mind since then because, you know, for the first time in Ron DeSantis' life, he's failed and he's experienced rejection. This guy has had a blessed life where he's gotten everything he ever wanted his entire life, and he's dealt with rejection for the first time, and he's having a breakdown. So we did this interview, and he attacked those of us who are MAGA people. Listen to this, and we'll talk about it as we go through it.
We have a strand in our party that views supporting Trump as whether you are a rhino or not. And so you can be the most conservative person since sliced bread. Unless you're kissing his rear end, they will somehow call you a rhino. So it's been totally detached.
Okay. Yeah, and that's true. And, you know, in large part, there's many reasons for that. But in large part, and you hear that, unless you're kissing it, oh, he's ticked off, Ron DeSantis. See, you know, as I was saying earlier in the first hour, it's not enough just to go and say all the conservative things that conservative people want to hear and say, I'm a woman, you know, I support a baby's right to live. I'm against affirmative action. I'm against U.S. involvement in Ukraine. I support fixing our broken immigration system and securing our border and all this stuff. It's not enough just to go out and say it. You have to be a doer. And out of all these decades of Republicans, none of them have done anything on the Republican Party platform. Since he left office, after he left office, Trump overturned Roe v. Wade and ended affirmative action in college admissions. That was after he left the White House. Imagine, look at these great things he's accomplished when he's not even in the White House. Imagine how much more he'll do in his second term. But it's not enough just to say conservative things. Donald Trump is the only one who's going to do it, accomplish any of these things, and he's the only one who can. But anyway, let's get back to this. Ron DeSantis.
We have a strand in our party that views supporting Trump as whether you are a rhino or not. And so you could be the most conservative person since sliced bread. Unless you're kissing his rear end, they will somehow call you a rhino. So it's been totally detached from principle and what you actually believe and results. And it's more about, you know, just what faction you happen to do. So there'll be people who are huge Trump supporters, like in Congress, who have like incredibly liberal left-wing records that's really just atrocious. And yet they're viewed as by some of these folks as like really, really good. Then you have other people, you know, like a Congressman Chip Roy, who's endorsed me, Congressman Thomas Massey. These guys have records of principle, fighting the swamp, that are second to none. And yet they will be attacked by some of these people and called rhinos. So it's just been totally detached from any type of substance. And ultimately, a movement can't be about the personality of one individual. The movement has got to be about what are you trying to achieve on behalf of the American people. And that's got to be based in principle. Because if you're not rooted in principle, if all we are is listless vessels that's just supposed to follow, you know, whatever happens to come down the pike on Truth Social every morning, that's not going to be a durable movement.
What are you talking about? Did you see the Iowa State Fair? It is a durable movement. He just doesn't get it. You're done, Ron DeSantis. In fact, it's not only is he done, he knows it, and he is completely imploding. Now, this whole, I'm not even sure what that means, listless vessel, that we just mindlessly follow Trump. This is what we understand, and this is what we know. Donald Trump is the only person who can accomplish these things, all right? None of these things are going to be accomplished by anyone else. Now, Fox News over the weekend, they were discussing this. Listen to this. This is Fox News giving some analysis to the listless vessels comment.
Meanwhile, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis seems to have a new strategy to get elected president: go after Trump's supporters.
Okay, go after Trump supporters. See, this is what happens when you're in with these Beltway insiders and they convince you that these jerks in the bow ties that used to work at the Weekly Standard, that there's more of them than there are of, people at the Iowa State Fair. You can't win anything out there attacking the voting base. And and it really shows you the anger that Ron DeSantis has towards MAGA voters, right? Yeah, he's got a lot of anger towards MAGA voters. The problem isn't with us, it's with you. Governor DeSantis was going to be the second MAGA president in 2028. He blew it, and like a liberal, he can't accept personal responsibility. He screwed up. He got his wife whispering in his ear. She wanted to be rich. She wanted to be First Lady of America. Jeb and Bush and GW and Columba and all that whispered in his ear with Karl Rove, and he screwed up, all right? And he's unelectable forever, Ron DeSantis. And even Fox, who had spent the last year promoting this jerk, they're throwing him out now. They want someone else, Ramaswamy, somebody else, anybody but DeSantis, anybody but Trump or DeSantis now is kind of what's going on at Fox.
Meanwhile, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis seems to have a new strategy to get elected president: go after Trump's supporters.
We have a strand in our party that views supporting Trump as whether you are a rhino or not. And so you can be the most conservative person since sliced bread. Unless you're kissing his rear end, they will somehow call you a rhino. So if you're not rooted in principle, if all we are is listless vessels that's just supposed to follow, whatever happens to come down the pike on Truth Social every morning, that's not going to be a durable movement.
Okay, yeah, the listless vessels is the new deplorables. That's right. I am a listless vessel for Trump. I am a deplorable. That's right. I'm a Trump puppet, and he is the great MAGA king, okay? This is going to be the next insult. This is real. How can you run for office as a Republican when you openly hate the Republican voter base so much?
Okay, first, Charlie, I've covered a lot of Trump rallies. I've talked to a lot of their supporters, and I can tell you right now, I'm calling it Listless Vessels is going to be on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And it's not already on one right now. What's the thing?
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet. No, it's a terrible strategy. And it's so frustrating because Ron DeSantis has such a tremendous record to run on. There's so much promise for him, but he is really failing. Like we have seen few politicians with so much going in their direction fail as badly as he is failing. He's not very good at politics.
He's not good at politics. Yes, that's right. Well, that's not good when you are a professional politician. See, one of the things that's happened is he's forgotten that he got into office because of Trump. He thinks he's done this on his own. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Cassandra. Doug.
Hey, Doug, are you one of those listless vessels that Governor does? I'm a listless vessel. Are you?
Yes, sir. First of all, I'd like to know who wrote that thing. Whoever says that. I've never heard anybody say anything. A listless vessel. What kind of state?
That is a weird word. I mean, I'm not even sure what that means. Let me just look up listless and see what the definition is. Okay, listless. A person or their manner lacking energy or enthusiasm. That's one definition. Lacking unwillingness or inability to exert oneself due to fatigue or physical weakness. I'm not even sure that he used the word properly. But I didn't go to the Ivy Leagues. He did. I don't know.
I'm really disappointed.
It's too, it's interesting you say that. It's too awkward of a term just to come off the top of the head is what you mean, that this was a written statement.
Written statement for him to say what he's going to say because he's trying whatever he can to try to get some kind of following, but he's done. I was talking to somebody yesterday. I was a real MAGA guy, and he was saying he thinks that DeSantis is going to make a total turnaround and come back and want to. I said, no way. He's done. We're not allowing him back.
He's crossed the bridge, then he can't come back now.
No, he's too far. You know, there was a story over the weekend. You may have seen this. A few people died off the beach in Tampa from some bacteria out in the ocean. I mean, why? You know, I mean, come. He's got to take one of these crises that we have in Florida, jump on it, act like he's too busy as governor to run for president, and go to Mar-a-Lago, beg Trump for forgiveness, and the only thing that could make this debate Wednesday night on Fox News interesting or newsworthy is if Ron DeSantis during the debate announces that he's dropping out and endorsing Donald Trump. That would be interesting.
Great. That might be something that could start making people forgive him. But
I'll never trust him. I will never trust that man again.
Yeah, man, he's going down the tubes. He's done. I don't know how long it's going to be before they decide not to have any debates, because who's going to watch this?
Well, you know what I wonder. You know, you say someone wrote that, Listless Vessels. I'm wondering. You know, we know who's behind him, the Karl Roves and the Bushies. I'm wondering if they're trying to get rid of him. I mean, you know, if I'm in DeSantis's orbit, right? Like if I were in his circle of advisors and he was going to say listless vessels, I would say, I don't think that's a good idea, Gov. Remember basket of deplorables with Hillary Clinton? You know, that doesn't go too well. They're just, you know, those MAGA people are just going to adopt that as a compliment, and you're going to, you know, but there was no one around him to stop him from saying it. So maybe these Bushies and Karl Roves around him got him to say that to destroy him, to force him out of the race, so that, you know what I mean? Maybe they want him out.
Yeah, I mean, because how many more people with big money are going to give any money to this guy knowing that we're throwing it away? You know, he's going to go broke. Yeah, this is done. He's done. As a matter of fact, the whole everybody else but Trump is done. So I don't know why they're even putting this thing on, but I'm hoping that they're really low rate.
Mm-hmm. Me too. All right, Doug, I got to run. Thanks for the call. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines.
What do you think? Do you think, let me know yes or no, was listless vessels like a prepared statement? It does seem like an odd phrase just to come up with off the top of your head, doesn't it? I'm not sure what a listless vessel is. I mean, it's obviously not a positive. You know? Well, Doug's the one that said it sounded written. It did. It sounded like pre-planned, like he was just waiting to drop it in. Such an odd phrase. Yeah, pre-written. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I got to go over a couple things here. I got to finish up with DeSantis in this next segment because there's so many other things to cover. Let's see, what do I got here? Okay. He's a jagoff? I agree with that. Jagoff, yes. DeSantis is a jagoff. Yes. So what? He's a lawyer? Big deal. Lots of people are lawyers. I have I already made my wife last night, she made a Listless Vessels t-shirt in my store.
Drive slow, be more alert, and be extra careful when children are near. Remember, they don't always watch for you. This message courtesy of Brooks Painting. For over 30 years, they have served South Florida with quality work and custom paint jobs such as cabinets, sheds, and furniture restoration. To follow us, call the professionals That's 561-832-0957 for Brooks Painting of West Palm Beach. Wishing our children a safe back-to-school season.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them.
It's the last commercial, then we'll be back. A deplorable, listless vessel supporting the great MAGA king, Donald Trump. That's right.
Specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Garrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I want to take a moment to talk about Friendly Tire in Margate. You know, all of the cars in my family are on the road on tires from Friendly Tire in Margate. He has the lowest prices on new tires. I was over at Friendly Tire the other day, last week, and I asked Friendly Mike, I said, how low are the prices right now? Because I'm seeing all these high gas prices. And he says, oh, my prices are real low. And I said, well, give me an example. I said, how much is this tire right here? He said, $70. $70. There are new tires that are $70 a tire at Friendly Tire in Margate. And by the way, remember, yeah, $70 a tire. New. Remember, that's out the door and on the road at Friendly Tire in Margate. Because when you call Friendly Mike, he'll give you a quote over the phone. I'm going to give you the number in a moment. The price he gives you, like with me, $70 out the door and on the road. He doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or even dispose of your old tire. Pretty good deal, huh? Give him a call. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. 954-977-9445. All right, make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show, because he always takes extra good care of Steve Kane Show listeners. All right, so DeSantis, he said we're listless vessels, right?
All we are is listless vessels that's just supposed to follow, whatever happens to come down the pike on Truth Social every morning. That's not going to be a durable movement.
Okay, yeah, it's not a durable movement. Well, I want to play this audio, and before I play it, I want you to listen to this. This is Ron DeSantis. Listen closely. Is he a listless vessel at this point? Listen to this. This is Governor Ron DeSantis talking about our great president, Donald Trump.
So here's the issue, and I deal with this all the time. In Washington, in the country, Trump has almost the entire media against him. Fake news, day after day after day. He's got the entire Democratic Party after him. He's got the lobbyists after him. He's got the bureaucracy after him. And he's got some Republicans who come after him to kneecap him. And so he is under an attack like no president has faced, and he is standing tall for us. He is working hard. So the last thing I want to do is go out there and lob hand grenades at the president. I think we need to support the president, understand what he's up against, and understand he's facing opposition unlike any other president we've seen.
Yeah, so is Governor DeSantis a listless vessel? When he said that, it sounds like it. Oh, my goodness. There are moments in time when you see people's political career ended. Rarely is it when they're on top of the world, like Ron DeSantis was. You saw this happen with Al Gore. He was vice president when he lost to George W. Bush. Vice presidents are losers. Dukakis, most famously, but he wasn't even in Washington. He was a governor, and that was over for him. And now Ron DeSantis is going the way, that's right, he's going the way of Dukakis. You know what he might end up doing, Ron DeSantis? He might end up being a law professor like at Nova Southeastern in Davie or something, law school. He's just not, he's done. He's done. But we're going to, now he's still in denial, and I want to play this last clip, then we'll take some calls. But Ron DeSantis thinks he's the front runner in this campaign. Listen to this interview that he gave, which was a very strange interview. You can't see this in the audio, but he was grinding his teeth while he was answering these questions and waiting for questions. It was very strange. But he thinks he's the front runner. Listen.
Your campaign said the other day that the knives are out for you at that debate. I got to ask you about that. Plus, I got to ask you, I know it's not your campaign, but never back down, put out a memo that people are talking about. So I'd like to get your reaction to both.
All right, never back down is the Ron DeSantis PAC. That is his campaign. That's just lies.
Your campaign said the other day that the knives are out for you at that debate. I got to ask you about that. Plus, I got to ask you, I know it's not your campaign, but never back down, put out a memo that people are talking about. So I'd like to get your reaction to both.
Well, on the memo, it's not mine. I haven't read it. And it's just, I think it's something.
This is the memo where it had stage directions for DeSantis during the debate, attack Biden 3 times, compliment Trump 5, right?
We haven't put off to the side. But in terms of the debate, look, I know from the military, when you're over the target, that's when you're taking flak. And
oh, my goodness. A lawyer. Here's a guy, he's a lawyer, and he's trying to act like, he's, a lawyer. Yeah, but now this next part, listen to how he thinks he's the front runner.
Put off to the side. But in terms of the debate, look, I know from the military, when you're over the target, that's when you're taking flak. And if you look really in the last 6 to 9 months, I've been more attacked than anybody else. Biden, Harris, the media, the left, other Republican candidates. And there's a reason for that, because people know that I'm the biggest threat. So we view it as positive feedback. We'll be ready to do what we need to do to deliver our message, but we absolutely expect that and we'll be ready for it.
And that means punching back.
It means yes. It means defending ourselves, but more importantly, showing why we are the leader to get this country turned around.
Well, first off, beware of politicians who, instead of saying I and call themselves we, the royal we, that's like Captain Queeg, Kane Mutiny, but he says, I'm the biggest threat. Is that what his wife tells him during sex? You're the biggest threat, baby. Yeah, come on. Yeah. What is he the biggest threat to? Does he, if he believes that, which I think he does, I think he comes in and out of reality. If Ron DeSantis believes that he's the biggest threat when it comes to the Republican primary state right now, he is not lucid enough to be heading up anything. And, if we had a recall system in Florida, like they have in other states around the country, he'd be out. We'd have a successful recall of him if we had that process in Florida. We don't. But if he thinks he's the biggest threat, he's not lucid enough to govern anything, including the state of Florida, because that means he's totally insane. If you're on hold, hang in there. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll break for the bottom of the hour and be back right after this.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right. What else do we got here? I've got so much to cover today. Okay. Oh yeah. He thinks he's the biggest threat.
Trump, the 18 other co-defendants, they must.
I tell you, these people and their anti-Trump fantasies. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, everyone. This is the most pro-Donald Trump place you'll find anywhere. And there's 1,400 plus people in the live stream. Please make sure to like the video. That helps spread the word about the channel a lot. I'll have a new podcast later today. And if you click that notification bell, you'll get a notification when I upload the podcast. But I live stream 7 days a week on this channel, and always take live calls when I'm live streaming. Yeah, he's really, he's lost it. Yeah, I'm the biggest threat. Give me a break. I still predict him and his wife are going to end up divorced when this is all over. She wants to be with a winner, not a loser. Yeah.
Trump, the 18 other co-defendants, they must surrender.
These people, I tell you, they're fantasies. This is a big week because we've got, you know, Friday is when everyone's supposed to go, including the president, surrender in Fulton County to the Black Panthers. We'll be back shortly. It's Friday. Friday's the big day. He's a Bush Maverick, dog by Maverick. Is that a reference to John McCain, the Maverick? Mm-hmm.
Directly with your insurance company on the cost of all repairs, so you don't necessarily need to employ a public adjuster or a lawyer. Tom can handle any type of roofing job too.
Mm-hmm.
Roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
All right, here we go.
Back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, and we are back live on this Monday morning. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Call us on hold, stand by. I'll take a couple more calls before I bring up some new stuff, but a lot of news today. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yes, you're on the air.
This is Carlos, the Latin American.
Okay.
Hollywood. One suggestion for all registered voters in Florida. You should change your registration to Republican so you can vote in the primary for Trump.
Yes.
My wife has been an independent voter for secular forever and ever. She just told me this past weekend, even though she voted for Trump twice,
or 3 times, whenever, the 2 times that he was on the ballot, he said, I want to change my registration from independent to Republican because I want to vote in the primary.
That's awesome.
So I suggest all the registered voters in Florida to switch to Republican.
That's
After Trump wins in 2024, you don't have to vote anymore. You don't want? At least we can put him in there.
That's right.
It's our president. Just laughing forever and ever.
That's right. That's right. President for life. All right. Great advice. Thank you for the call. Yeah. Great advice. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
Think about this for a second. Think about how lucky we are that Ron DeSantis outed himself. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Think about what a close call that was. That was a close call.
No, he saved us. He saved us from himself. He would have been president in 2028. Walmart Melania would have been the second MAGA first lady in 2028.
Think about when he dressed his kids up in MAGA gear and paraded them around. Like, think about...
Wait a minute. When Ron DeSantis dressed his children, including his newborn baby, in MAGA gear, were his children at that point listless vessels?
Were they?
I don't know. I maybe it's a good question to ask him.
But think about how low you have to be. It's to me, every time I see him, I thank God. I thank God that he outed himself.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me ask you this as a woman. See, this this just popped in my mind because I think he's kind of odd looking. Do you find as a woman that Ron DeSantis is a lot less attractive since he came out as this whiny never Trumper, as opposed to when he was a MAGA Trump guy? Was he more attractive to you then, and now he's kind of just like a pathetic little man who cries?
Well, he was attractive to me when he, was in his dress whites.
Ah.
But now, no. Who would deal with a character like that? Now,
You know what he reminds me of? I used to, went back in my younger days, my friends, some of my friends, and as you ladies probably know this type of guy, their girlfriends would dump them. They'd get a new girlfriend, and what would they do? They'd whine about the other girlfriend to the new girlfriend. Women don't like criers. They're not your mommy. They like real strong men. And I think Ron DeSantis is looking like one of the wimpiest men that I've seen at that level of politics in a long time. He doesn't seem strong at all. He seems like a wimp.
Well, now think about his wife. You think that this is new behavior? No, this is just exposing existing behavior.
Yeah.
He married that.
So I've been predicting for the last month or two that their marriage will end in divorce. I think she'll end up, when this is all over and she realizes he's unelectable forever, that she'll leave him.
Maybe. Brian, I want to give you something to watch, and you're going to laugh, because I know that you're affiliated with Laura Loomer. Tim Pool came out with this new show called The Culture War, and he has Laura Loomer and Bill Mitchell on.
Yeah, I watched it live. I watched it live. I was texting Loomer during the interview. Yeah, I was watching it. The Bill Mitchell, Laura Loomer interview. Yeah.
It was glorious. Like, I've never seen her in that mode. It was.
Well, the thing with Bill Mitchell, Bill Mitchell used to be a Trump guy. Now he's a DeSantis guy. And Tim Pool put together this debate between Laura Loomer and Bill Mitchell. And I haven't really listened to Bill Mitchell in years. Back when I used to be on Periscope live streaming, he and I were like the top 2 guys on Periscope that were like MAGA people. And I haven't watched him in years. He's not lucid. He's a crazy person, Bill Mitchell. He is not. a normal person. He's a very strange dude, Bill Mitchell.
Who, like, where he came from.
But I'll tell you what, he's got a lot of guts. Here he is, you know, DeSantis is going down the tubes, and he's acting like, you know, he's defending Ron DeSantis. I mean, talk about defending a sinking ship, a losing. I've never. It was. Oh boy, it was pretty. I did watch it.
He looked like a used car salesman. Like I was.
The only thing I can say about Bill Mitchell, I'll say one thing about Bill Mitchell. He's got nice hair. He takes very good care of his hair. That's about it.
That's not going to save him, Brian.
No. All right, hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Well, of course, we all love Loomer. She's great. Okay, so if you're on hold, stand by. I want to play this clip from MSNBC. Now, this Friday is the big day. Black Panther County, Fulton County, Georgia, is when President Trump, Mayor Giuliani, and all the rest are supposed to surrender and be brought up on these RICO charges, which is really disgusting. It's a sad day for America. MSNBC had a panel discussion, 3 liberal women talking about what's going to happen in Fulton County on Friday. The host is Alicia Menendez. They're talking about Trump going to jail. And it's important to point out that Alicia Menendez is the daughter of the Senator Menendez, who was on trial for taking bribes. Now, somehow he got acquitted. But remember that? Remember that Senator Menendez who was put on trial for taking bribes? Remember all those Costa Rican trips and everything? That's who her dad is, okay? Democrat, of course. So listen to this. They're fantasizing over on MSNBC about President Trump being put in the Fulton County jail. Okay, hold on. Live radio, people. Why is it not playing? It was playing a second ago. Well, hold on. Let me refresh it. Hold on. I will get this playing. If you're on hold, hang in there and bear with me. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. Yes, I hate... The internet's just not reliable, people. I think I lost my... Here we go.
Defendants, they must surrender in Fulton County by Friday. How is this process in Georgia going to be different from what we've seen in federal court?
Going to be very different because they have said that they are going to do mugshots and fingerprints, and he will be turning himself in at the Fulton County Jail, not in a federal building, not in a clean, nice environment. It is, from what we hear from the press, a really dirty, dangerous, scary place. So it's going to be a very different picture, and I think the picture of him there, I think his experience of being in a real jail, I can tell you that some of the Watergate defendants, when they were put in the DC jail, really freaked out. And we had to move them to a Army base where they could be housed without being interviewed at all times so that they could cooperate and testify.
Okay. Yeah, so that's MSNBC over the weekend. So all of a sudden, the Democrats are in favor of rat-infested prison and jailhouse justice. Yeah, they haven't gotten a confession out of Trump and any of these people, but we're going to put them in a dangerous prison filled with violent people and rats, and then they'll talk. I thought these were the civil libertarians on the left. I guess not. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Roz.
Hey, Roz. What's up?
A couple of things. Number one, this vessel baloney. A vessel is a vase. And it doesn't even make sense what he's saying, but basically in a nutshell, he's saying that we follow Trump no matter what he says.
That's right.
What he does.
That's right.
Like we're clueless, like we're a bunch of idiots, which we're not. And number two, he's talking about rhinos. He is a rhino. Because number one, President Trump saved him. What about loyalty to President Trump? He pretty much kicked him when he's down. And then I saw a clip of him just recently, this liar that was singing a different tune. They asked him, do you think Biden is the real president? He says, of course.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, listen, this is the thing with Ron DeSantis, okay? We're watching a man devolve right before our eyes. This is like reality television. You're seeing a guy that was on top of the world, that had his whole life ahead of him. And then when Bragg indicted Trump, he started trashing Trump, wouldn't help Trump, didn't stand by Trump, and that was the end. You were watching the self-destruction of a man on national television running for president, Ron DeSantis, a man who had his entire future locked up, destroying it just like that because his wife and Karl Rove in the bushes were whispering in his ear.
That's fine, but let me tell you something. I don't care what happens. I would never vote for him, ever.
Never.
Never. In my life. You know why? Because he shows that he is unreliable. He's not loyal. And if he's not loyal to President Trump, that means he's not loyal to our country.
I wouldn't vote for Ron DeSantis to be the president of my homeowners association, and I'm not kidding. He's done. He is unelectable forever. He's going to end up being a college professor at some law school somewhere. That's what's going to end up happening.
And flipping hamburgers at McDonald's, one of the two.
I guess.
One thing that I wanted to say. I saw in the news where they said that the state's attorneys in Georgia slapped some kind of a suit on this Fannie or whatever to stop this nonsense with President Trump and people.
Yeah. But I don't know too much about that, but I'll look into it. All right, Roz, take care. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie, Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver.
Richie does good
Listen to
commercials.
Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633.
Pretty good commercial for Richie.
954-922-4633.
On the podcast, I'll get into more detail today about what happened with my wife over the weekend. She's home from the hospital. She had surgery over the weekend. Unexpected, unplanned, unannounced.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Bio Station West Delray, and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural. What it does is restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, you'll have more energy, you'll get your sex drive back, and women, hormone replacement pellet therapy completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone. Night sweats? Gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet them, they're like Joe Biden, and no one wants to be like him. And then I meet them again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893.
We'll be back shortly, guys.
320-8893.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day, the buy one get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way too.
Go to mypillow.com and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and buy your My Pillow 2.0. Right now, buy one, get one free. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879.
All right, coming back.
1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Steve will be joining us after the top of the hour break, and we are back live this Monday morning, August 21st. You know, we have a lot of people in this audience who are smarty pants. You may have noticed that. And, yeah, I got a DM from a listener. This was over the weekend. I guess they were, listening to the show online or something over the weekend, and they said, Brian, you talk about the My Pillow, My Slippers being good to wear all the time. Why don't you wear yours in the mornings? And that's a very good question. I did answer this question in the first hour, but these people, they always think they got something on me. There's a very good reason that I do not wear my Pillow, My Slippers when I'm on the air. When I go home, I put them on. I get out of my regular shoes that I'm wearing and put on my Pillow, My Slippers as soon as I get home, and that's all I wear at home. And the reason I don't wear them during the show is they're too comfortable. They're too comfortable. When I put on my Pillow, My Slippers, it's like having a foot massage, okay? It relieves all of the pressure points of your foot, gives immediate stress relief throughout the entire body. They're so comfortable. They're so soft. It's like wearing my pillows, and it's like, I can't be relaxed and comfortable during the broadcast here. So I wear shoes that are slightly uncomfortable on purpose. Just like I have a chair here that I don't use. I stand the whole time we're on the show. I don't even sit down during the breaks, because if I were wearing my Pillow, My Slippers, I'd be totally stress-free right now. And I can't be stress-free while I'm on the air, okay? So I'm serious about that, by the way, guys. I'm not kidding. Now, the My Pillow, My Slippers are incredibly comfortable, and it's absolutely amazing. They're as low as $25 with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. They have a whole bunch of new colors in, and they also have a lot of new sizes. They have smaller sizes for women and children, and larger and wider sizes for the guys, as low as $25 a pair with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, so Biden and his mob wife, Jill, are going to fly to Maui a week later. There's 1,000 missing or dead by the latest accounts, and many of them are children. It's god-awful. And obviously, the Biden regime has done nothing. They just let Maui burn. And we know that if this was Ukraine, they would have sent over specialty firefighters from throughout the United States to Ukraine to put the fires out. Why did they ignore Maui? It's pretty obvious. Pretty obvious, right? There's no money to be made for Joe Biden. Joe Biden only does things to get paid. And if he sends aid off to Ukraine, he can get his 10%. Hawaii, well, we already got all that stuff. There's no way for him to steal 10%. So Maui, you're on your own. But Hawaii is a very Democrat place, right? And they're pretty ticked off. This is a native Hawaiian in Maui, very upset. Listen to this. This was over the weekend. No, hold on, wrong button there. I'm off one day and I forget which buttons to push. Oh, let me rewind it. There we go.
Why aren't you taking care of what you claim to be in charge of, rather than sending out all these funds and whatever else you guys are sending to Ukraine or anywhere? Take care of here first. I don't see why any president wouldn't step up and take care of what's part of their, territory. I think it's a stupid move on his part. Biden, yeah, he's an idiot. Sorry. No, not sorry.
Native Hawaiian, lifelong Democrat, because they know that if it was Ukraine, it would have been taken care of. Now, did you hear how they shut down the water? They cut off the water. Did you hear about this? Yeah, there was one guy who actually was interviewed a few days ago, and he said, we were maintaining the fire at our home, and then the water got shut off. And I couldn't fight the fire at my home anymore. Do you see this guy? Well, Hawaii isn't just a Democrat state. It's a bunch of liberal lunatics out there, all right? That's where Tulsi Gabbard's from, who supports legalization of all drugs, okay? I know, all drugs. That includes heroin and crack cocaine. Should be legal. Oh, yeah. Okay, Tulsi Gabbard. So they're very, very liberal. And this is one of the state officials in Hawaii talking about Water equality. That's right. That's right. Listen to this.
You know, we all need water to live. So really my motto is always like, let water connect us and not divide us. Like we can share it, but it requires true conversations about equity, you know, like water equity. It's not something that's talked about a lot, but understanding how do we, in this island space that we occupy, in this short period of time we're here, how do we leave it better, live, coexist with the resources that we have, and then not make that burden, again, something we pass on to the next generations. I think that's really important.
Yeah, water equity. Water equity. You know, any place in this country that is run by liberal Democrats is going down the tubes, right? Hawaii burning down. Over the weekend, look what happened in California, right? They had hurricanes and earthquakes. And, of course, crime is out of control and major retailers are evacuating, right, because of the crime. What part of this country is run by Democrats that's doing well, right? You know, and I still stand by a possible theory that the Maui fires is a real estate scam to come in and buy up Hawaii. You know what I'm starting to think, too? I was watching some stories over the weekend about major retailers leaving San Francisco because of these flash mobs and raids and things like this. San Francisco is some of the most expensive real estate in the country. Not the most, but close to it. Is it possible that this crime wave that's being allowed to take place in places like New York City and San Francisco are being allowed to happen so that people can come in and buy up the real estate cheap? I know that Democrats are corrupt as corrupt gets, and I wouldn't put real estate scams past them on any of this stuff. Because who would allow crime to be in your city like it is in New York or San Francisco? There's got to be something more going on. Who's concerned about water equity when your state's burning down? A big part of it, at least, Maui's a pretty nice sized island, is burning down. It seems insane what's going on here. But I'll tell you this, I wouldn't want to live anywhere that's being run by Democrats. It's dangerous. One last clip I want to play that's unrelated to the politics, and then we're going to get back to Trump and DeSantis and everything after the top of the hour. I saw this over the weekend on Twitter, and it's really scary. You ever see these interviews where internet people go out on the street and ask people questions, and then they put the video up online? This is a transgender woman, okay, born a man, biological man, with a fully functional penis, okay, goes out on the street, dressed as a girl in skirts and makeup and everything, and asks guys how hot they think she is. And then she goes a little bit further. And yeah, so I saw this over the weekend, and I was like, this is just, listen to this. Transgender biological male, now living as a girl, on the streets, asking men how hot they think she is.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate me? That's nice.
Rate you a 10.
A 10?
Yeah. 15.
A 15?
11. Probably 6.5.
A 6.5, okay.
7.3. Good 9.
Would you still rate me a 7 if you knew it?
Okay, now let me rewind. Okay, so, you know, these guys must be drunk because you can tell by the voice that that's a man. But anyway, so all the guys think she's hot. So now she asks those guys what they think about her having a penis.
11. Probably 6.5.
A 6.5, okay.
7.3. Good 9.
Would you still rate me a 7 if you knew I had a
No, I don't care.
Would I still be a 15 if you knew I had a
I would say 15 too. And you know, your energy is great. We don't care about that stuff.
Wow. Would you still give me that rating if you knew I had a penis, although used a cruder term? None of the guys minded, and the guy at the end says, we don't care about that stuff anymore. I want to ask you guys this, because I know you, among this age we're talking about millennials and younger. Are the guys in their 20s, are they no longer like heterosexual? Do they not care if a girl has a fully functional penis anymore? Is that not a problem for most guys in their 20s? I'm not going to put you on the spot, Mike. I'm not going to ask Mike. I don't want to put Mike on the spot. Who knows? I'm sure Mike wouldn't. But this clip is all over the Twitter. Have they taken our guys that are in their 20s and turn them into gays? Do they not care if a girl has a fully functional penis anymore? And I'm serious about this. This exchange was very strange. I know, it's crazy. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Now, after the top of the hour, we'll get back into the latest going on with Trump and DeSantis. But this was so shocking to me, and it's concerning because, hey, we got to make more babies. And you don't make babies if you're a guy having sex with a girl that has a penis, okay? Our birth rate is so low compared to what's happening at the southern border. We're in trouble in this country, people. We got to start making babies, and this is not how you do that. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll take our break for the top of the hour. Number 888-GO-KANE-1. We'll be back right after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created. Here's the oldies forecast.
Good day, everybody. Hope you're off to a great start. So we're going to see daytime highs across South Florida of about 90 to 92 degrees. There's about a 30% chance of some isolated storms this afternoon, and it's going to be a bit breezy with winds out of the east at about 15 to 20. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture, Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture, voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Earlier, multi-vehicle crash still blocking the right lane along the turnpike heading northbound at Indiantown Road. We're seeing some minor slowdowns on.
I mean, when I saw that video, I was like, oh my goodness. Crazy.
We also have a multi-vehicle crash in West Palm along Haverhill Road at 47th Place. Another incident in Palm Beach Gardens along Military Trail at PGA Boulevard. Further south into Broward County, 595 westbound after I-95, 2 right lanes blocked by a crash. Earlier crash 95 southbound before Sterling cleared. This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you've earned double. The cash back from trips, restaurants, all double. Seriously though, see terms, check it out for yourself at discover.com/match. Let's travel Chris Barr.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. BBKC is the county's only OTB location featuring betting action from top horse tracks.
All right.
This weekend, bet on
What do you guys think? I mean, that video, crazy. And they think we're crazy. You and me for having, they think something's wrong with that.
Plus exceptional dining and drinks. The Paddock is also your best bet for comedy, music, and dinner shows. For our full schedule lineup, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Here's your true oldies ABC News Update.
ABC News Now, I'm Tom Rivers. An unprecedented double whammy in Southern California. Tropical storm Hillary and an earthquake. ABC's Alex Stone is there. As the heavy rain was falling here, then the ground started shaking. From one emergency to another, people ran and took cover. Seismologist Dr. Lucy Jones says a storm could not have created the quake and they'll have to go out looking for evidence of which fault line it was on.
There are a lot of faults in the region. One is called the San Cayetano Fault. It's capable of quite large earthquakes.
She says there were 4 shocks on Saturday, and there's about a 1 in 20 chance something bigger is coming. President Biden and the First Lady go to Hawaii today. They'll survey wildfire devastation.
They're going to survey. What does that mean?
And first responders. Citing his enormous lead in the polls, former President Trump hit his social media to say he will not be participating in Wednesday's debate among Republicans. Republican presidential hopefuls. This is ABC News.
I like how Japan would offer, gave Japan, Hawaii $1 to help them.
Yeah.
But Biden's just offering $700.
$700 a person, yeah.
One time $700.
Really? Japan gave money to Hawaii? I didn't see that.
Sent them, something $1 million to them. Pretty good amount to help them out.
Yeah, $2 million. For wildlife support. Yeah.
We will read the Bible, pray, and offer blessings to all who listen in the name of our Lord and Savior. Moments of Scripture every Sunday at 6 a.m.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. Steve joining us. Hey, Steve. I just saw here, Mike, our board up, actually came in and told me, and I looked this up. Biden, you may have heard, he's helping out those people in Hawaii. He's giving them $700 a person. Japan, the Prime Minister of Japan has offered foreign aid and has donated $2 million to help. So here we have the Japanese, the Japanese who have a long history with Hawaii, at least since December 7th, 1941. So far, the Japs are doing more to help Hawaii than our own government. Steve, I don't know. It seems something's out of whack. But I'll tell. Yeah.
What is the announcement on Trump? Is he definitely not doing the thing with Tucker that he planned?
No, we don't know exactly what he's doing with Tucker. We don't know. We don't know what he's doing with Tucker and when it will be.
Should be very interesting. I spent all weekend watching the television and watching the rumors flying. A little. Have you seen different little pieces of this wonderful case they put together against the Donald?
Which one? You talking about the one?
Mark Levin?
No, I did not watch Mark. I don't watch Fox, Steve. How many times am I going to tell you? I did not see Mark Levin.
I guess I'm gonna be talking to myself here.
No, well, you saw it, so you can tell us about it.
It's just very clear they've got no case against him. And I think the root of a lot of the bad accounts of what transpired came from who's the guy?
Bill Barr?
Yes, who obviously got his toesies stepped on somewhere in the past year or two from Donald Trump, so he's against him now. But it's when you get into the details of the story, have you seen any of the details?
Well, I don't know which part of the story you're talking about. So, but I mean, I know what's going on, Steve. I wanted to play this clip. This was so far as the Black Panther County, that's Fulton County. It's run by black nationalist, black racist who think all white people should be in jail, okay, just for being white. Newt Gingrich was on with Charlie Kirk over the weekend and dropped what was a huge bombshell. Newt Gingrich is very well connected. He was Speaker of the House. He's got a lot of contacts in both the media and in politics. And his wife was President Trump's ambassador to the Vatican, so he's in the loop with Trump as well. And he dropped a big bombshell over the weekend about how this indictment came down. And but let me just play and then we'll talk about it. But this is Newt Gingrich with Charlie Kirk.
But I'm told by a reliable source that Friday evening, somebody from Washington called the district attorney in Atlanta and said, you have to indict on Monday. We have to cover up all of the mistakes we just made with Weiss. And she said, apparently, my jurors aren't coming back till Tuesday. They said, you didn't hear me. You have to indict on Monday. And she said, well, they're not going to get here before noon. They said, that doesn't matter. She said, this means it's going to be 8 or 9 or 10 o'clock at night. They said, it doesn't matter. We need the news media shifting off of
Who made that phone call?
We don't know. And I'm telling you up front, this is hearsay, but it's from a person who has remarkably good
I
sources.
totally believe it, though, because that would explain why they leaked and they messed up on the clerk document, why she was exhausted, and why they had the 11 p.m. press conference, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, so that wasn't this past Friday. It was the Friday before. Remember, that indictment from Fannie Willis in Black Panther County, Georgia, came in Monday last week, right? So what Newt Gingrich, and I have never known Newt Gingrich. I mean, this is an analysis. He has a source who has told him this is what happened. I've never known him to make a claim like that was debunked later. He's very connected. He mentioned Weiss. What he said was Weiss is that fake special prosecutor that they claim to have appointed. That's not a special prosecutor. That, you know what I mean? They got that in Washington. Yeah, they got such negative feedback from the Weiss story with the fake special counsel that they had to get that stupidity out of the news. So someone from Washington, this is what news, someone from Washington, I think it was Valerie Jarrett, someone from Washington called Fani Willis and said, you got to indict Trump on Monday. But the grand jury's not back till Tuesday. I don't care, you got to indict. This is what he's saying. You got to indict him on Monday. And this is why the indictment was posted online on the Fulton County Clerk's website before the grand jury's decision came back, right? So that is a major scandal, and Newt Gingrich broke it with Charlie Kirk over the weekend. I've not seen this anywhere reported in the news, and Newt Gingrich is usually all over the media, but the media hate Trump so much, they don't want this out there. I think that's one of the biggest stories to come out of the weekend, is this bombshell from Newt Gingrich. You know, but
to see where they go with it.
Well, they're covering it up. You know, that's where they're covering it up. They don't want.
I mean, we heard this story.
Well, have you seen that anywhere? Other than me, have you seen the Newt Gingrich part?
I heard the content of the part.
That somebody called on Friday. Well, at least it's getting out there. But this is, I mean, people got to start asking questions of Fani Willis. You know, who called you from Washington? Who called your office from Washington? You got to be very specific, because these are snakes. If they talk to an assistant, she'll say, I didn't talk to anybody, and you can't accept it. You got to talk to these people. They're snakes. They got to get her on the record about this phone call from Washington. My guess is it was Valerie Jarrett, who's Obama's direct representative to the Biden regime. So then we have Ron DeSantis with the listless vessels. And, I mean, this guy, he is... I've never seen a politician that was on top of the world like Ron DeSantis bring themselves down without like a sex scandal or something, right? I mean,
Arrogance is what brought him down, which happens with a lot of these guys. He just got too cocky and he got out. What's the expression, in front of his skis?
Yeah, he got out 4 years early. If he would have kept his mouth shut in 2028, he would have been fine. But I want to play this clipping. I played this in the first hour. So DeSantis did this sit-down interview with somebody here in Florida, and this is where the listless vessels nonsense came from.
We have a strand in our party that views supporting Trump as whether you are a rhino or not. And so you can be the most conservative person since sliced bread, unless you're kissing his rear end, they will somehow call you a rhino. So it's been totally detached from principle and what you actually believe and results. And it's more about, just what faction you happen to do. So there'll be people who are huge Trump supporters, like in Congress, who have like incredibly liberal left-wing records that's really just atrocious. And yet they're viewed as by some of these folks as like really, really good. Then you have other people, like a Congressman Chip Roy, who's endorsed me. Congressman Thomas Massey. These guys have records of principle fighting the swamp that are second to none, and yet they will be attacked by some of these people and called rhinos. So it's just been totally detached from any type of substance, and ultimately a movement can't be about the personality of one individual. The movement has got to be about what are you trying to achieve on behalf of the American people, and that's got to be based in principle. Because if you're not rooted in principle, if all we are is listless vessels that's just supposed to follow, whatever happens to come down the pike on Truth Social every morning, that's not going to be a durable movement.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm a proud listless vessel of Donald Trump. I don't even know what that means when he calls us listless vessel. I mean, I know it's not good and it's a negative, but I don't even know if that makes sense what he's saying. But I'll tell you this. his definition of a conservative is someone who says conservative things, right? Saying it's not enough. You got to do. And these other people he's talking about, they can go out there and attack and say all the right things. It's a big difference in actually accomplishing something. And Donald Trump is the only person in the Republican Party who's going to accomplish any of these things that are being talked about, whether it's securing the border, getting us out of Ukraine, all these other, getting oil prices back to where they are affordable, all the getting rid of this runaway insane inflation, and that's the way it is. I mean, prices are so high. My wife was ordering groceries on Instacart from Publix last night. I said, well, let me go through the list. Let me see what we have in the pantry to make sure we're not double, because prices are so high, and one of them was spaghetti sauce. I said, oh, we don't need that. We already have spaghetti sauce. Okay, that's $5, off the thing, or however much it is. I mean, this is crazy. And going around saying conservative things just ain't going to cut it anymore. Donald Trump is the only one that can take on these snakes. And what I'm hearing, Steve, from Ron DeSantis is a lot of anger. He's in self-destruct mode right now. He really is.
He's well past self-destruct mode. I think he's been in destruct mode for a while.
Well, he's so angry. I mean, he's like knowingly self-destructing at this point because he's ticked.
Okay, it's simple to understand. It's because it's dawned on him that he's up the creek without support.
Yeah, well, that's right.
This is what's got him a tad ticked.
Well, he shouldn't have betrayed Trump and the whole movement of people that elected him and reelected him as governor.
Not a company before it's over.
When you betray your base of support, people tend to not like you after that. Listen, if you're on hold, hang in there. We're going to take our first break of the last hour of today's program and go back to our calls at 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Scott Shannon here with a question. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and you get a doorbell camera. I wish we had them for everyone, but the first 40 true oldies channel listeners to call 833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hand. And that's not all. Sloman's going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to dial 833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's now for this limited time offer, 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050.
If you're suffering from burning, tingling, or numb feet, you need to pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Corey Hennessy, DC, Innate Healthcare. Dr. Hennessy, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is actually nerve damage to the feet and legs.
And what are the symptoms?
The major symptoms of neuropathy are numbness, tingling, burning, muscle cramps, coldness in the hands and feet, and problems with balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It is treatable, and we've seen some great results.
Call 954-633-70.
All right. I was just reading over the latest poll. Trump is at 62%. Number 2 is DeSantis at 16. I mean, my goodness.
Symptoms are so severe that there's nothing that can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. Call 954-633-7003. The first 25 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Space is limited. Call 954-633-7003.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building
restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry for 40 years. We are originally from Connecticut, where our values and work ethic is second to none. We install all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingle, clay and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. We work with homeowners, HOAs, commercial properties, and churches. We are state of Florida licensed roofing and general contractors. At LaPorta Contracting, family is what we are, and roofing and restoration is what we do. We help guide our customers to a successful outcome by constantly informing them every step of the way. At LaPorta Contracting, let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or visit us on our website at laportacontracting.com. That number again is 954-604-4602.
Brian Craig here with a question for seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a healthcare advocate at the touch of a button? Would that make life easier for you? You can with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will help you set up doctor's appointments, help with your pharmacy, even deal with your pharmacist to make sure that you have your prescriptions. They'll help you find a doctor, including a specialist. If you've been billed improperly by a doctor's office or a hospital, they can help you with that too. They'll even be your advocate.
It's the last commercial, and we'll be back.
To make sure you get the care you need and the care you deserve. And that's just the beginning of what they do. I Will Advocates takes care of all Steve Kane's healthcare issues too, and they can do the same for you. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Call Debbie at I Will Advocates right now. Toll free 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beach 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldie.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve's here. Callers on hold, stand by. You know, Steve, on Mondays, Tuesdays too, but Monday and Tuesdays are the days of the week that people are most in pain because you're active over the weekend, right? You know, people do all kinds of things. They play golf. They do things around the house. They do yard work. They wash the car. And they wake up Monday morning and they're in pain. And I'll tell you from experience, those pains are not going away without treatment. And you know what? Pain is not just part of growing older. I thought it was. You know, these pains that, I talk about with Dr. Appleton ridding me of these pains, I thought it was just growing old. You know, okay, I got arthritis in my hand. Well, that's my life. It's not my life. Because I went and saw Dr. Appleton and talked to him about his laser wave pain treatment, and he treated me, and the pains are gone. And he has rid me of pain 5 different times, from 5 different types of pain, some of them from injury, some of them just, like arthritis, just because, you get it at a certain age. The laser away pain treatment with Dr. Appleton works. I'm going to give you his number. And remember, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome. You can find him online at AppletonChiro.com. Dr. Appleton's my chiropractor, and he wants to be your chiropractic physician too. Give him a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Call Dr. Appleton and say bye-bye to your pain. Get your life back. 954-973-0710. All right. You want to take some calls? The phones are ringing. What do you want to do?
Yes, I have a clear picture that Trump has said he's not going to do the debate with the gang.
No, he's doing no debates. This is okay. He's not only not doing this debate, he's not doing any debates. Okay, he said, but they're leaving that out. That's not a debate. That would be an interview. The Tucker Carlson thing would be an interview. But we don't know when that will be and where or anything about the Tucker interview. But he's not going to be doing any debates with these losers, nor should he. You know, there's a new poll out today from CBS News. CBS News hates Trump. They hate all Republicans, but they especially hate Trump. The latest CBS News poll has Trump at 62%. That's a 46-point lead. Trump's at 62. Second place is Ron DeSanctimonious at 16. Ramaswamy at 7, and it just goes down the tubes after that. But he's got a 46-point lead in the latest Trump-hating CBS poll. So you can add 10 points to that because they hate him over there. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is Roy in Richmond. How you doing?
All right, what's on your mind?
What's up?
Hey, I want
Are you the guy last week I told you got to get a better phone connection? That again? Then I did tell you this before. If it's again, it's
It's because I'm on Bluetooth.
You get off the Bluetooth. Get off the Bluetooth. We'll wait. The thousands and thousands of us will just sit here and wait while you get off the Bluetooth. You're still on the Bluetooth. Sounds like a speakerphone to me. All right, so you're lying. Okay, go ahead. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I want to talk about the mistake that Ron DeSantis is making. First of all, he's in the wrong place at the wrong time. The people have already chosen Trump, and now he knows he's going to lose, or he's losing, so he resort to being like the bad parent. He's lecturing us and criticizing us, and that's something that President Trump has never done.
In fact, you made a good. I'm glad we suffered through the Bluetooth problems because you brought up a good point that I'd like to highlight on. President Trump, of all the negative things he said about people since he came down the escalator, he's never said a negative word about the voting public. Not one. Liberal or conservative, by the way. He never attacks the voters. Ron DeSantis, all he does is attack us now.
The reason why is because President Trump actually does good things. He wants to do good things. He's a get-her-done president. Ronald McDonald down in fantasy land needs to go back to his governorship and do his job and leave us alone.
Yeah. And you know what he is? Ron DeSantis is the Dylan Mulvaney of Republican politics. Dylan Mulvaney, of course, destroyed Bud Light, if you don't get the reference. But, hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Much better off the Bluetooth. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is a MAGA listless vessel from Texas.
Oh, great.
Calling.
Hey. Are you and your deplorables ready to come out in support of the great MAGA king, Donald Trump? How many more insults can we think of that they throw at us?
This is incredible. That's why I put it MAGA listless vessel. Okay, I've got a list of reasons why the public wants Trump, why he's at 60-some-odd%. There's a reason why. There's a huge list. And all Ron DeSantis is doing, he's out of fireballs or whatever, and he's now attacking the people. That's the wrong choice. Whoever's advising him is stupid. And in Hawaii, my people in Hawaii, I'm sorry, but this is what you keep voting for. Democrats. They want that land. Now they're evicting the homes that hasn't been touched with the flames. They're evicting the people. The insurance claims are not covering. It's just the poor people. And they get $700 while Ukraine got trillions.
Yeah, well, see this. Well, it's obvious. I've been talking about this. See, Biden can't steal 10% out of Hawaiian aid because that's already baked in. Right? He can steal 10% from Ukrainian aid, but it's hard to steal it from Hawaiian aid.
Come on, that's a joke.
And I got to tell you this, Japan, Mike, our board op, I did not know about this, told me about this during the break at the top. Here we have Japan, who bombed Pearl Harbor, you millennials out there, okay? The Japs, Hawaii's taking foreign aid from Japan. Which is a disgrace. We shouldn't take any money from Japan for Hawaiian relief. Just the symbolism of that.
Trump, if you're listening, a good idea is for you to go there.
I got a question for you. Did Oprah Winfrey's house burn down, or or Jeff Bezos' mansion? Did any of these celebrity houses burn in Maui?
But they were willing to give it up.
Well. Well, let me tell you why I say this, because to my now I could be wrong. So you don't believe any celebrity houses burned? I think if Oprah's house or Bezos' house burned, I'd hear about it. You know what these people do? What I mean, these rich people. You know what they do? They hire private firefighters. They you know, like sometimes people will hire cops to do details. They hire off-duty firefighters to. So what I'm wondering is, did Oprah and all these rich people, did they hire firefighters away from the regular people?
Tell you, I'm very sad at the state of where our nation is right now, because the poor people that are suffering over there, and this is our people, our Americans. We should be helping Americans, not Ukraine, not the illegal immigrants that keep coming in, not any of that. The poor people, they're still counting the deaths. Just because Zuckerberg already put an offer for that land grab, that's fishy.
I think it's probably arson for a real estate scam going on in Maui, and it got out of control. Yeah, but you know, this is Biden's America. I mean, you know, yeah. All right, take care, Bert. I got to run. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
I'll be right back, guys. I drank so much water this morning. Hold on.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1, Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. BBKC is the county's only OTV location featuring betting action from top horse tracks. And this weekend, bet on huge races including Saratoga's Travers Stakes, the Charlestown Classic, and more. Visit the Paddock Restaurant with over 180 new HD TVs and big screens, plus exceptional dining and drinks. The Paddock is also your best bet for comedy, music, and dinner shows. For our full schedule lineup, go to bbkennelclub.com.
Are you exhausted after work with no energy left in the tank to give your family? Are you having a midday crash on a daily basis? Women, are menopause symptoms like hot flashes, anxiety, and depression making your daily
Oh, yes.
far more difficult than it should? Men, do you feel like you are aging far beyond what you should? Is your sexual life and relationship suffering because of disappointments in the bedroom? Then take action and let our medical team at Lighthouse Medical Center help you stop the symptoms that are holding you back. We use all natural hormone optimization therapies with precision technology to help solve your problematic symptoms. Our family-owned practice has had the honor of serving our South
is perhaps the single most important conclusion
Queuing up some audio.
that was drawn by the professors from their scholarship, namely that, as Professor Tribe said, the clause is automatic. It is self-executing, which means that, as Professor Tribe just explained, anyone, state or federal, who's charged with, which means that it is self-executing.
Mm.
If you're a homeowner business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. Tom Laporta will give you a free evaluation. Laporta Contracting was voted one of the best general contractor and best roofers in South Florida. He's honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and will never sell you a roof you don't need.
We'll be back in just a minute, guys.
Call your insurance company immediately. Then
Wookiees, good to see you, Wookiees.
laws are in effect that allow Tom
Well, thank you.
directly with your insurance company on the cost of all repairs, so you don't necessarily need
Good to see Wookiees.
an adjuster or a lawyer. Tom can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
Coral Electric in Boynton Beach says, safety behind the wheel starts with you, the driver. Safe driving isn't child's play. Drive carefully whenever children are near. Remember, auto safety is contagious, so let's start an epidemic of good driving and protect our children. This message courtesy of Coral Electric at 2920 Northwest Commerce Park Drive in Boynton Beach. For all your commercial or residential electrical needs, call the fully licensed and insured electrical contractor at 561-729-0601. That's 561-729-0601 or Coral Electric, the professionals who can help.
A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab test now.
Mm-hmm.
Springs or any lab test now in Boca. Any lab test now at Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ravenwood by the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call, 954-906-5983, 954-906-5983.
On the podcast, Kathy and I will talk about what happened over the weekend with her. She's home, so still recovering. She came home over the weekend.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian Steve Kane here, and let's take some more calls to you. Then I got more stuff, but let's take another call or two. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, hi Brian.
Yes.
This is Nick in Coral Springs.
Hey.
How you doing? First of all, I couldn't be happier that Trump's not doing the debate. Excellent. But I do have a question to ask you. I was trying to get through for quite a while, but I couldn't get through over the last couple of weeks. Let's just say that Trump can't run because they what's going on in Georgia. If Donald Trump Jr. then ran.
If Donald Trump Jr. came in?
What do you think? Because, as long as we have a Trump, let's say that they do keep him off the ballot somehow.
Let me tell you. I'd vote for Barron Trump. I'd vote for anybody whose name is Trump, except Bianca Trump. I would not, remember her, Steve? I would not vote for Bianca Trump. But anyone else named, look up Bianca Trump, you'll know why. But no. They would not allow that. They wouldn't allow Don Jr. just to, we're going to have a difficult enough time getting President Trump through all this mess they're putting him through.
It's certainly not his time. Down the road I can see it.
I would not mind Don. Don Jr. lives in Jupiter, right? And he is living the Florida life. He's out on Lake Okeechobee all the time. He's out in the ocean fishing. I'd like to see him be the governor after DeSantis. I think Byron Donalds is probably going to be the next governor. But I'd love to see Don Jr. as the next governor after DeSanctimonious is done with his second term. He'd be a great governor.
Sure, some Trump gets in there. If it can't, in other words, we have to think of some other strategy. And if it was Donald Trump Jr., I have no problem.
But it's early. It's early. Yeah. Yes.
Nah, they'll work, Steve. They're working hard, man. They're working hard. Friday is when they're going to. Now, Friday's a long way off, but Friday is when Fannie Willis in Black Panther County, Georgia, is planning on perp walking President Trump, America's mayor, and others.
If you had spent just a tad of time on
Levin?
On on the whole station.
I know what's going on, Steve. I know what's going on. But Friday is Friday's the big day, and what happens on Friday in Fulton County, Georgia, is up in the air. We've got this angry black militant prosecutor and this black militant racist sheriff in Fulton County, and they're talking about putting Trump in a jail cell Friday with rats. They're talking about on him. I mean, so things are. This is this week. I mean, this is what we're dealing with. All right, you got anything else, caller? Or
One more thing to add, unrelated, but let me ask you a question. To some of these callers, like Mike from Louisiana, I'm sorry, I just have to get this off my chest. He is so terrible. He just repeats every single thing he said.
Yes.
The way you can speed dial, like Richie the bus driver when he calls, and that would go to somebody more interesting, like Barbara from Baltimore, Richie the bus driver. I mean, this guy, when he calls, I just dread,
You're not the first person that has said that about Mike from Louisiana, but he's a nice guy. I got a heart.
See, Brian, throw some tough questions at him once in a while, if you can. I mean, I want to see him disagree with you at least one time.
Well, I mean, I listen. I mean, what am I going to criticize a guy because he thinks I'm right?
All you have to do is agree with Brian, and you'll win.
He didn't even vote for Donald Trump.
Please.
Voted for Trump. He never voted even for Donald. He did admit that one time.
Did he really? I missed that.
I had to get that off my chest.
Okay.
Then I dread it. I wish it would go.
You dread it. You dread the calls from Mike in Louisiana? Well, come on. Have you not heard? Okay. Well, I'm very nice to Mike in Louisiana. Have you not heard me say things like in the course, like, "Oh, Mike, long time no hear," even though he called me the day before. I mean, haven't you heard me make some sarcastic jabs at him? Yeah.
I know you have a soft spot for him, but some tough questions once in a while.
I'm not interested in questions. All right, okay, I'll take your. Hey, listen, you guys that listen to this show are our customers. Like if this was a general store, you guys listening would be our customers, and customers always right. Well, Steve, we take the calls screenless, so I don't control who's. I don't have to be a jerk either. But okay, now let me get back though to the news. So MSNBC, they have decided that Trump is not even eligible to be president, and of course this is because college professors say so. So they bring on a college professor. This is MSNBC over the weekend.
Which means that, as Professor Tribe just explained,
that's Lawrence Tribe, who's a hardcore liberal jerk. Okay.
anyone, state or federal, who's charged with listing the candidates for the presidency is obligated under the Constitution to make the decision himself or herself as to whether Donald Trump is qualified to be put on the ballot under the Constitution of the United States. As to the role for Congress, frankly, until scholarship by the two professors was not aware of the self-executing feature of Section 3. I'm sure Professor Tribe was. He's thought and written about the disqualification clause his whole life. But this is of momentous significance itself, because neither Congress,
boy, these guys in for
impeachment, nor a judicial order, nor
wait, I'm almost. Just calm down, Steve. Just calm down.
are needed as of this moment under the professor's reading of Section 3 and of my reading and Professor.
Hold on.
The former president is disqualified from holding the office of the presidency in 2024.
Okay, now I played that for a couple of reasons. Number one, could you imagine being in that guy's class in college, Steve? Oh my goodness. A couple of things. if you look at the news this morning, this is the new tactic. I love it. This is why I shared this with you. I know he's long-winded and boring, and you may be asking me to put Mike from Louisiana on the phone again after listening to that guy. But there's a new tactic that's in the news. It started yesterday, and there's some big stories in some of the major liberal publications today about this, that the scholars, the constitutional scholars, liberal jerks all, have determined that he's not eligible to be on the ballot. So this is an amazing development, because what they've done is they've realized we cannot beat this guy. He's too far ahead. There's nothing we can do to stop him. So we're going to declare that he's ineligible. And what they're doing is getting this dialogue going through these very terminally boring, self-important college professors that have never left the school in their entire life, tell you he's not qualified, to try to get it imprinted in people's brains that he's not qualified. And what they're saying is that if you've been charged with insurrection against the government, you can't hold federal office. No, it's convicted. And I got news for you. General Lee was not brought up on charges, or any of the Confederates, okay? And they killed people. They killed Americans in their insurrection. It's not being charged, it's being convicted. But they're giving up, Steve. They're giving up on the entire electoral process.
Speaking over the weekend.
Oh yeah, yeah. And on Monday is when new news cycles begin, and this is beginning the news cycle this week. They're trying to get this going.
In a nutshell, what's happening here is, starting today, and actually it started over the weekend, what's coming out is the real story of what has been going on. It's going to come out in the course of the trial. You're going to hear from the witnesses, okay? And once you... Now, and once you see that they've been supporting up till now, it's half-assed. I don't know what the hell it...
And you always beware of Democrats who wrap themselves around the Constitution. All of a sudden, these Democrats on CNN, MSNBC, Lawrence Tribe, the Washington Post, New York Times, all of a sudden, the standard for everything is the United States Constitution. They've been telling me my whole life that was written by white supremacist slave owners so that they could maintain white supremacy in this country. Now, all of a sudden, it's the gospel, the Constitution. Whenever Democrats are praising and citing the Constitution, fire alarms go off. All right, listen, we're going to take our last break and be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on the...
All right, and it's time for the first gold and precious metals report of the week from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca. William Youngerman. Hey, William Youngerman, how the metals starting off this week?
Starting off higher this morning, we saw gold trading overnight in a range of $1,804 to $1,896, and currently right at the highs now, $1,895, up $5.50 on gold. Silver up 45 cents at $23.20 the ounce, back over that $23 number. Platinum hanging in around $910, that's down about $3. And palladium down $2 at $1,226. So markets are very resilient whenever we see new lows or any kind of push lower, and a lot of buying coming in. So this is the great time to be taking advantage with all the big tricks of these dips and buying in.
Well, yeah, and of course, all the metals are priced to buy right now. The spot price on gold, on silver, on platinum is awesome. But William, remember, also the premiums have come down. So there's even added savings on top of the metal prices today, that this is like a big time for all of the metals, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Great buying opportunity because you're saving a lot of money on the premium.
Huge.
And there's just some great buying. Really been acting very, very well, and there's a lot of concerns that there's going to be a shortfall of platinum going forward. So you may want to be adding a little platinum to your portfolios.
You know, platinum's really awesome, and it comes in bar form. You've got coins, the coins. You have great coins that are American coins, and the other major mints have platinum coins as well, right?
They do, and platinum is 15 times rarer than gold, and it's trading at half the price. And historically, it always traded for more than gold. So this is a great buying.
Yeah, and one other thing I wanted to, because I follow these things closely. Silver, of course, is also priced to buy, but in particular, William Youngerman, Silver Eagles are like a bargain right now because they were going for crazy. I remember a year ago you were telling me, no, now's not the time for Silver Eagles, and the premium was so high, but now Silver Eagles are really like a steal.
Absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
The Eagles were as much as $25 over the silver price.
The crazy.
Or so ago, and I mean, we were telling everybody don't buy them.
I know.
They're certainly a bargain. They're right back to their normal premiums at the mid prices and stuff. So great buying opportunity on Silver Eagles also.
Yeah, if you're.
And when the demand really tightens.
Well, see, you guys, the Silver Eagle prices are really the bar. I've never seen Silver Eagles so low as they're going right now. What was going on in the past year has been insane. They were like double. It was like spot price plus spot price for Silver Eagles. Now they're like really good deal. And if you're listening right now, you ever hear buy low, sell high? You're getting in on the ground floor right now with the price on Silver Eagles because the word's going to spread, William Youngerman. I know it real quick on Silver Eagles. Now, Silver Eagles, obviously, you can buy one, but you sell them in the tubes as well?
In singles or only sell them in the sealed boxes of 500 clubs.
Oh, okay, you sell. Okay, you're cutting out on us on the cell connection. But did I hear you right that you can buy them in a single ounce? You have tubes, which I think Silver Eagles are they 20 a tube?
20 per tube.
And you also have monster boxes. Is that what you said?
That's correct. The monster boxes come in 500 coins sealed by the U.S. Mint.
Well, let me tell you, I'm not the expert on the metals. William Youngerman is, but when William Youngerman's telling you now's the time to buy Silver Eagles, you want to buy them. Okay, I'm telling you, this is the time. And I know a lot of people are really into Silver Eagles. William Youngerman's opens up at 10 a.m. You can stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. Online at williamyoungerman.com or give him a call. And you can do all these transactions, both buying and selling, over the phone, no matter where you are located on the planet Earth. 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, a lot of great news in the metals today. We'll talk tomorrow.
Have a great day. Thank
All
you.
right, back after this.
The Steve King Show is on the...
All right, Steve, this is a big week. We've got this pathetic debate on Fox with these wannabes. Friday is the arraignment of Trump and Giuliani and the other great Americans that are standing strong with Trump. This is a big news week. It really is. And
because you're going to start to get the real story rather than this fake phony story that they've been peddling about what these cases is
yeah.
what the case is. And you'll find out how ridiculous it really is.
Yeah. And it's going to be great. And on Friday, everything that happens in the courtroom, they're telling us will be, will be televised.
Did that, they're rich.
Because they're stupid.
Well, that's you. Yeah, in a nutshell, that's it. It shows that they really don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
The last thing in the world they should want is to have this thing televised. And
Steve, in their world, everybody hates Trump. So they think when people see the greatest president ever being arraigned in a courtroom and being booked and all this stuff, that the American people are going to be excited. We're going to be disgusted at the Democrats for doing this. It's going to...
a shock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm glad. It's going to be on TV. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes. Good morning. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. Who is this?
All right. This is Terry from Florida. Hey, I hear y'all talking about Trump, right? But you know what? He the one that told Giuliani to give him, he needed 11,000 votes. Now, he's talking about fraud, but he told Giuliani, I need 11,000 votes.
Did he say, because maybe I missed something here, but you seem to... Well, Terry seems to have some information. So did he say go out and make 11,000 fraudulent ballots and send fraudulent ballots to so that they can fraudulently be counted? Okay, because that would be a crime. That would be a crime.
He said, I need.
If yeah. If I said, Mike, our board op, Mike, can you find me some car keys? Am I stealing a car? Am I stealing a car? No, I'm serious. If I say find me some car, I can't find my key. Find me the car. Is that stealing a car?
Different.
No, it's not different. It's not different.
It is different when you said the vote.
Okay, and you're in Florida. Were you in Florida in 2000? You don't know. You don't know where you were. You don't know where you were in 2000. Remember Y2K and.
I don't want to give out that. I don't want to give out that information. I'll be honest with you. But my
Wait. Oh, this is interesting. Wait a minute, Steve. You're being honest now. So prior, you were being dishonest. What are you? Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows who you are. Okay. And I don't know. The feds? Is he in witness protection? Are you on the lam? No. Hold on a second. In 2000, there was a recount in Florida. Bush versus Gore. Remember this? Bush versus Gore. I'm not. This is the same subject. It's just And Bush. See, he knows where we're going, Steve. He knows where we're going. This is a demo. Yeah. No, I don't care what your point is. We're gonna just listen for a second. We got 6 minutes left. Plenty of time for you to make your points. In 2000, there was a recount in the state of Florida after the presidential election. However, the recount, which was called by the Democrats, was not throughout the entire state of Florida. It was in isolated areas. What areas, caller, did the Democrats have the votes recounted?
That doesn't matter.
It does matter. If you don't know, it's okay. You don't have to know, Steve and I know what we're talking about. It's okay for you not to know what you're talking about. The Democrats recounted ballots in Palm Beach County, Broward County, and several other counties throughout Florida. What did the counties that they did recounts in 2000, what did they all have in common?
Listen, he was doing
Okay, he doesn't want to hear. You can be evasive. I'm still going to give the answers. They only recounted in Democrat counties. Well, that was going to be the next. That's exactly right. They only recounted in Democrat counties. It was not a recount of the entire state. They recounted Palm Beach, Broward, Dade County, and some counties in other parts of Florida. Democrats all. And why do you think the Democrats, Steve gave you the answer and you still won't be able to come up with it probably. Why did Al Gore and the Democrats only recount in 2000 in Democrat counties?
No, he just said, just pull me some votes out of there.
The same reason that Willie Sutton gave for robbing banks.
Yes. They were looking for Democrat votes.
Is that because that's where the money is?
Yeah.
So, because he was trying to stop Biden from becoming president.
Well, wait a minute. Why is that? Aren't you trying to stop Trump from becoming president right now? Is the purpose? You're calling to try to stop Trump from becoming president. Are you committing a crime? Are you committing a crime? You said stopping Biden from becoming president is criminal. You're trying to stop Trump from becoming president. Is that a crime?
The hard truth and nothing but y'all don't want to hear the truth. That's why you keep hanging up on people because you don't like the truth.
We're not hanging up on anybody. You're just
Hey, well, you're still here. You tell us.
Exactly.
Lying to us.
The hard truth. Now you don't want to hear the truth. You want to declare. You see what I'm saying?
You haven't responded to one question. Steve and I have asked you several questions. You have not responded to any of them, which is.
You don't want to hear it.
Well, yeah, I think you're disrespectful. We've responded to you. In fact, the entire subject matter is something you brought up, and you're not showing us the same respect.
I'm sure
your silence. Your silence.
I'm sure. I'm saying that's irrelevant. What's relevant?
You're irrelevant? And you're irrelevant?
I'm saying what he did is that what he did, he told them that he needed 11,000.
He can't think. I just think this caller can't think logically, Steve. I don't think he's capable of logical thought. I think that's what the problem is. Yeah.
The thing is, he knew he didn't win.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Al Gore? Why did Al Gore call for a recount excuse me, why did Al Gore call for a recount in 2000? The Democrats they called, the election results came in. He questioned the election. Excuse me. Al Gore questioned the election for months. Not only did they only do recounts in Democrat counties, they went to judges to get the recounts, and they only went to Democrat judges. That's why the Supreme Court took the case away, because the Florida Supreme Court at the time was Democrat too, but they only went to Democrat judges in Democrat counties. So are you suggesting that Al Gore should be brought up with insurrection charges for his actions in 2000? Well, either did Donald Trump. Now, where can I find this audio? I will play it on the air right now of Donald Trump telling people to storm the Capitol. No, he did not. He did not. All right. You've run out the clock. We're out of time for today. Yeah. Listen, if you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. And if you hold on, you'll be first in line tomorrow. It's only 21 hours you got to hold, guys. My name is Brian Craig, Steve Kane here. Lots of big news this week, and you can see I didn't even get to half of my show prep, but and it'll probably be dated by tomorrow. We'll have new show prep for tomorrow because news is breaking every second. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, has been here. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. And remember, if you miss a portion of the show, go to our radio station website, trueoldiesfla.com. The entire show is uploaded and archived there each day. God bless America, and God bless the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. See you tomorrow.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3.
All right, guys, I got to run. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. See you later.
Broadcasting